here. Is here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web. Or play it if you dare. At the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name's Bart Hanson. I'm here with Dave Tuckman. Going to be playing a little Tuesday night, usual 300 to 500 no limit hold'em. Restricted buy-in, 5-5 blinds. Best restricted buy-in game in town. Really can play some poker at the start. We have a lot of new faces.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of the table is brand new to Live at the Bike. Really exciting.
All right, man. Well, let's get to the table. And let's introduce the players.
Why don't we do that? In seat number 1, we've got Kim D. And you see Kim stacked there. She's probably got a little over $400 in front of her. Seat number 2, we've got Zach. And I'm not sure if that's a pen or a cigarette. What is that?
Maybe like a 100 cigarette.
There you go. Okay. Seat number 3, we've got JR. And JR looks like he's got a little over $300. Seat number 4, we've got He-Man. He-Man's been on the show before. One of the few players that actually have been on the show. I recognize his name. Seat number 5, we've got Adam.
Hey, he played in the big game, had a killing on Friday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how he plays today. Seat number 6 is Guy. Now, this game might play a little smaller, and he might play it a little too aggressive in this game. I'm really curious. I'm not talking about Adam, obviously, seat 5. Seat 6 is Guy. And seat 7 is, and that is Mr. Kim. And,
well, it's not Mr. Kim.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, 2 Kims. I hate that. Okay. Okay, seat number 8, we've got Cy. Cy's also been on the show before. The other players been on the show. And seat number 9, we've got George. And you and I were just playing in the 5-10 game with George.
Yes, we were.
So it'll be interesting to see how he plays in this game.
So again, 5-5 no limit. You can buy in for 300 min, 500 max. Bring your stack up 500 at any time. Yellow chips are $5 chips. And, you know, if you see purples, they're 25s. Whites are 100s. You can see here the first hand of the night. Kim D there in seat 1. The lady at the table's got a flush. And it looks like George bet 100. And Kim is going to mini raise it to 200, and I think that's pretty easy. We didn't see how the hand went before, but George, there's nothing he can beat. He's actually drawing dead.
Yeah, obviously he's making some sort of continuation type bet.
Right.
And Kim Lee obviously hit her hands.
Now, if you can see over there, Kim probably has about 150 left. A stack of yellows is 100 plus maybe 50. A lot of times, Dave, when you build a pot up in this game, there's very little fold equity. Once she makes that raise, there's no sense in pushing unless you think you have the best hand. One of the other things, though, with the short stack game is you might be okay committing here with a smaller flush, whereas if you were in a deep stack game, even maybe with the nut flush, you can just only call there on the turn because the board is paired.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you raise there and you're really deep stacked, and now the guy re-raises you a couple thousand more,
right.
Well, then what do you do with your jack high flush?
Right.
Then you really, all you have is a bluff catcher.
So I always, mention it, and I always mention it when Shirley was on the show, that a lot of women that we see on the show, stereotypically play a real tight brand of poker, almost like weak tight. So let's see if Kim D might prove us wrong. Well, it's pocket kings here for seat number 5. Looks like we got a live straddle, so it's going to be $10 to go. Of course, a straddle is a kind of a second blind under the gun. He will have the option. And seat 5 is going to raise here with pocket kings. He's going to make it 40 to go after an early position limper. Wow, and seat 9 is going to call here. He's got 10-4 offsuit in the straddle spot. And might that bring JR in here now? With the Queen Jack. Of course, the value of Queen Jack is always that Broadway straight. If the flop were to come out here, Ace, King, 10, he might win a lot of money against Adam. A lot of players can't get away from it, though, if it comes Jack or Queen high. Well, look at this top set here for Adam. He flopped it. Now, if he plays it tricky, JR's got the gut shot here to the 10.
40.
But Adam is going to throw a little weak bet in here. He's going to bet 1/3 the pot. There is a 2 flush clubs out there. He bets 40 here with top set.
Oh, come on.
And JR's going to fold.
Next time. Have a straight draw. Close. That shot.
Button's going to move over here to seat 7. Nice first hand there for Adam. I think he just entered the game.
I want to suck out on you like that. $40, you can do it.
Big blind coming into seat number 9. Again, we're playing 5-5. 5-5, no limit holding. As always, we like to keep the show interactive. You can email us at live@thebike.com. You can also follow a live grid start on the internet by going to 2plus2spelledout.com. Click on forums, World Poker Tour, etc. under Tournament Poker. And Live the Bike official grid here. What is it, April 11th?
Already. Time is flying.
We got a raise here in the cutoff. After a couple of limpers, he's got a king-queen offsuit. Actually, excuse me, he's got pocket 10s. The button has called here with the trap hand king-queen offsuit.
Yeah.
That is Kim in seat 7.
Now, Kim is in position. Now, if king-queen suited, obviously, is a lot better.
Keyman, seat 5 here, Adam limped in with an ace-6, and he made the call, Dave. Tough hand to play out of position. Now, he hits his ace, and he's good. But how do you ever play this hand strong? Ace, 8 on the flop.
And obviously, he's in great shape here. I mean,
guy does not bet, and Kim takes the card. Well, the turn here is a 3, and let's see if Adam's going to throw a bet out now.
Yeah, and there's only 2 cards in the entire deck that can hurt Adam's hand. Kim is drawing dead.
Just the problem, Dave. I mean, I got involved with a hand with ace-3 last night in a raise pot, and if you hit your ace, it's just, boy, I was even up front, and it was Corporation Mike that raised me to the left. I didn't want to check to him and him make a bet, so I took the initiative and bet. But once I got called, I actually got called by Alan. That's Alan in position.
And that's the problem with it, especially a game like last night. You're talking about it. You got a couple of calling stations in that game.
Yeah.
And once they start calling you down, you don't even know where you're at. Are they on a draw?
No clue.
Really puts you in a tough spot. Yeah, ace rag is really a bad hand. I actually got myself stuck in a hand rush. And I was so mad at myself. I ended up you going to the chalkboard and writing down 100 times, I will never call Bart. I will never get Bart action again. I will never get Bart action again. But I actually called you in the big blind with ace-4 suited, thinking 3 or 4 players would call behind me, and nobody called. And then I took it heads up against you, which is the last thing I want to do. Especially with a hand like that out of position.
We had a raise here by seat 4. He's going to bring it in with Big Slick Dave, ace-king. And look at this. Seat number 9 is going to call with ace-4 of clubs. And pocket queens over here for the lady in the big blind. How is she going to play this? She folded. She folded the queens. A raise here by seat 4, a call by seat 9, and she folded the queens, and she's pretty deep. Boy, is that tight. Pocket queens, and she folds in the big blind, and she was way out in front. Jack 8-9 here with a couple of diamonds. What a flop for Adam. He's got a pair, a straight draw, a flush draw.
A straight flush draw.
He-Man's going to bet 100 here, but look at the flop for Adam.
I mean, you can look at Adam. Look at it. He's an 86% chance here.
He shoves. Now, He-Man's not going to be able to call him, but what a flop.
I mean, he'd be a favorite over pocket queens.
Yeah.
Huge, huge flop. Oh, my.
He moves all in, and I don't think He-Man can do anything.
I'm actually curious now. Somebody do me a favor and go to the Pokulator. Go to liveatthebike.com on the right-hand side. Click on the Pokulator and punch in 8-10 of diamonds this hand versus 2 black queens. So I'm just curious if he's actually a favorite, and if he's a favorite, how much over those 2 black queens. What a flop, man.
Well, yeah, of course, you can check out our website, liveatthebike.com. A lot of interesting things over there.
I mean, even if the guy's got aces here, Adam would have, against 2 black aces, Adam would have 15... 16, 17. He'd have 20 outs.
Yep.
God.
Unbelievable flop there, but what a fold by queens, Dave. Now, you look at that flop, though, and I got to tell you, with queens, yeah, it's an overpair, but you hate it with queens.
Oh,
that is a horrific flop for queens. I mean, that is probably the worst flop you could ever see with an overpair with queens. She does have a gut shot to the 10, but still, without the king of diamonds, you know, it was just... Button's going to move over here to seat now. And now Kim D in the small blind picks up Big Slick suited, ace-king of diamonds. And the big blind has ace-queen, and seat 3 has ace-king. Seat 3 is going to limp in with ace-king. We got ace-king, ace-king, ace-queen, and queen-jack in the hand.
I mean, she might have looked at the queens from last hand thinking, you know, if I'm going to play this, I've got to raise it big. And do I really want to commit all my money with queens? That might have been her thinking.
Well, it's going to get limped around to her in the small blind, and I think she is going to raise now. Now it's a little different. She's going to raise with ace-king of diamonds here, limped around. Chances are there's, you know, she's not going to hit this flop. She's going to make it 50 to go. And Zach quickly folds the ace-queen there in the big blind.
Wow.
Quickly folds ace-queen. Now, is JR possibly trying to set up the limp re-raise? He only has about 200 left. You might limp re-raise all in here with ace-king.
You might,
with
yeah.
These stack sizes.
I mean, you don't really want to play it out of position. It's always one of those tough hands. You and I, actually, interestingly enough, both of us were raising on the button, and both of us had ace-king in the blinds.
Right.
And it is a tough hand to play out of position, especially if you don't flop your ace or your king.
50?
50 total.
It's funny how you know, we both flopped top pair.
You had ace-king right there?
I showed you ace-king.
When the guy had a set of 5s?
No, obviously not.
Oh.
Flopped him at an ace. You bet he calls, I throw it away.
No, that's why I was like... So we got a couple callers here. Adam's in there with king 7, and the flop misses everybody.
Of course. Surprise, surprise. But if she follows through with this, she'll probably take it down. And this is one of the problems with playing ace-king out of position. Now, she's got to put a lot of money in here with really nothing.
125.
I mean, she doesn't have a club in her hand, and look at this nice continuation bet. She bets $125 into about a $175 pot. It's a really nice bet by Kim. Oftentimes, you'll see players at this level that are a little weaker, putting in like a $40 bet.
That's why I got to tell you, JR stack, which is about 150, I probably live re-raise all in there and hope for the best.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
And he would probably chop it up here.
Yeah.
Adam would not have called. Surprised Adam did call, I got to tell you. It's one thing to call a raise from Kim in seat 1 with 6-7,
right,
or 7-8, something like that. But king 7, I don't want to be in there with that against her. Remember, she raised the blind. She could easily have kings or aces. And Adam's got absolutely nothing.
No, he doesn't have anything here.
I mean, if there was ever a hand that,
Queen?
if there was ever a hand you want to get called,
Threw away last time.
He said, you have queen, and she said, I threw that away last hand, and she's not lying.
no, she's not. I mean, And he said, wow, okay, well then. Oh, man. That was funny. I mean, I really liked the way Kim played that hand. She played it aggressive. She didn't put out a weak bet. And it really put Adam in a spot where if he wanted to make a move on her, he was going to have to commit about $350.
You know, I think I overheard Kim talking with someone at the 3-5 game yesterday. I think she's an attorney.
I was really just on to
Kim D and C4.
Yeah.
Look at this. Adam has picked up pocket kings again, and Kim D's got pocket aces on the button. Are you kidding me?
So it's her last three hands. She's had kings, ace-king, and aces. Hey, well, I guess it can...
And he limped, Dave. He's trying to pull the limp re-raise. And she's going to raise here. And I get a feeling all the money's going to go in here pre-flop.
This is huge, though. Look how much money Adam has.
She's going to raise it to 60.
She's got over $700, and he has her covered.
This is unbelievable. He's pulled the limp here, and he's got to be real excited right now. But he's killed. What is he going to do now?
Wow.
50 more?
Is he going to slow play or is he going to raise it?
Just make it 1.
He's going to raise, Dave. He's going to make it 140 total.
I
And
tell
let's
you-
see how Kim D plays it.
I tell you, Friday night, he couldn't do anything wrong. He won $9,000, and tonight he's really stepped in it.
He's
Oh,
pulled the
man.
limp re-raise with kings. And if you're deep, sometimes you can play it tricky here. What is Kim D going to do?
I call.
She moves all in, and he immediately calls. And I can see that one of the kings were dead. She's way ahead here.
Oh, he's got a 1 out.
Unbelievable. Wow, she's
He
going
has
to
got-
double through unless she gets really unlucky. Here we go to the flop.
No, he's
Jack
in great
7
shape.
deuce. Well, he's got the king of hearts.
No.
Nope. He's got 1 out to the river, and it does not come. And just like that, she doubles up.
And
Wow.
that is a $1,400 pot. She had over 700. He had her covered, and we're talking about a $1,450 pot there.
Now let me ask you. We always throw this out here. If you get more advanced in No Limit, you pulled the limp re-raise, and now she's raised on the button, and now she moves all in. She told you that she mugged queens before. Is there ever a time where you actually might just fold kings pre-flop?
Yes.
And
I mean,
might that be the case?
I got to tell you, man, it's so much easier for us. It
Right.
really is. It's,
Right.
We're in here. We know it already.
Right.
Nobody at the table saw her throw away queens.
Right.
We did. But if you believe her that she threw away queens, now she's raised, you've re-raised her, and now she's moved all in. Would she do that with queens? Because you figure she's not doing it with jacks or tens.
Right.
Could she be doing it? The problem is sometimes at this level, you never know. People overvalue even ace-king. Could she be doing it with ace-king? Who knows? You know, against some players that we know really well, if you're really deep. I mean, I got to tell you, if I'm in a hand versus you, Bart, and I raise on the button, and you re-raise me, and then I re-raise you, and then you move all in, I'm throwing kings away. I'm going to give you credit. I'm going to say you're not doing this with queens.
And Adam here, this is something I never understand. He had 95 extra, Dave. He didn't rebuy, and I think he's moved in blind here under the gun. He's got queen deuce offsuit. Because you can always rebuy.
Yeah.
And look at seat number 9. He's going to call him. Is it 95? He's going to call him 5-6 offsuit from seat 9. 5-6 offsuit, and he's ahead here with queen deuce.
I got to tell you, I don't understand what Jordan's doing here. You're calling with 6-5? Don't you realize that's not the kind of hand you want to call?
Well, it's almost a coin flip. But queen high is good right now. The turn is a jack, and the river's a jack, and queen high is going to win.
Well, thanks for the $95 gift there. I just don't understand the play. Why would you call? I mean, even if you know somebody's bluffing, even if they've moved all in blind, you cannot call with 6 high. I mean, you got call with king high. Call with ace high. You actually saw me one time call a guy with king high.
Right.
It was only like $100, and I had just taken like 1,000 from him. But I mean, yeah, I don't. Doesn't make much sense, does it?
I'm going to tell you, there's a new little link over at liveatthebike.com, Dave. You know, like I said, we have a bunch of things over on the left-hand side. Schedule, how to interact with us, our commentators, as seen on Live at the Bike, which is kind of a directory of terms. There's also a thing now at the bottom, if you're having picture problems, it's a little troubleshooting thing. Check out picture problems on the left-hand side of the screen. Now, seat number 9 here, Dave, he's going to move all in for 145 with Jack 5 offsuit.
And I bet you Adam calls him with king jack.
Well, how about seat 2? He's got king queen suited. He makes the call here in the cutoff.
And I think Adam might call too.
He's going to overcall with king jack.
Yeah, I bet he will. I bet, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to call.
I was going to say, I thought
And
he
King Queen here is in great shape. So we're going to see a $400 all-in 3 ways here. King Queen suited against King Jack against Jack 5. Oh, man. And you know, Zach has got to be way out ahead here.
Well, he's in good shape, obviously. All he's got to avoid, really, is he's got 2 jacks to avoid and 3 5s to avoid. And clubs.
I think you're ahead.
Here we go.
Like that.
Ace 6-4 here. King Queen is in the lead. He needs to dodge a 5 here or a jack.
Running straight cards, maybe? Well, there it is.
Turns a deuce. Yeah, he can catch
a 5 or a 3 now.
A 5 or 3. And the river's a 4, and King High's going to take it down with King Queen.
Yeah.
And the Queen's going to play. Wow.
And that's almost a $400 pot for King Queen. Well, you know what, I mean, some people, I don't know, some people will raise an eyebrow if I call somebody with King Queen. I gotta tell you, I'll take that small edge. If your bankroll can handle it and you know you're ahead, even 6-7%, hey, that edge over the long run is really gonna be a lot of money.
Email here from Brando saying, hey guys, I ran the odds on the calculator at PokerListics with the Pokulator. And on the flop, 8-10 diamonds is a 54-45 favorite against 2 black queens. There you go on that flop. Another email here from Noble Satter. He says, at the conclusion of a hand, I sometimes see players in your games pat the table a couple times as if they're checking. I'll see this from players that fold to a bet or lose a showdown, but I've also seen players do it as they take down a hand. What does this gesture signify?
I mean, I think tapping table is kind of like, it means a lot of things. It's kind of like nodding your head.
It means check, it means good hand?
Yeah, a lot of times it means nice hand. A lot of times it's respect, like, oh, I see what you had. Like, you know, let's say somebody had a flush draw, and you had top pair, and they show it to you, and you go, oh.
I think Adam's called blind. Kim brought this one in under the gun with ace-queen 35. Guy called with king 10, and Adams called here with king 6.
Look how much money Kim has.
And JR's in there with ace 9. And JR flops the nut flush draw. Guy's got top pair, and so does Adam, but he's outkicked. And Guy's going to lead right in with the king 10. Remember, Adam's outkicked.
Adam, I got to tell you, Guy might double up here, or JR might double up. This is going to get wild.
But look at this. Guy has bet, and Kim, not a flop you're looking for with ace-queen. He's raised next to act. And JR's got the nut flush draw, and he's short. I think it's an easy call here with all this money in there.
How do you raise that?
Ace
call. I move in.
Ace Queen is raised. Yeah, I think this is an easy move in here for JR, and he moves all in for 125.
And can Adam get away from this now?
Oh, Adam has to get away from this.
I mean, does this save you? You got to bet, a raise, and an all in. There's no way King 6 can be good here. He might even be drawing dead. I mean, somebody could have a set.
Look at this. He's 10% against the collective hands. I don't know what Kim's doing over there in seat 7.
Yeah, that's just not the flop you're looking for with ace queen. Sometimes, you know, people get enamored with those big aces, ace queen, ace king, after they miss, you know. And Adam gets away from it. Nice laydown.
And look at that. Guy gets away from it. Wow. And when Guy gets away from it, that moves Kim into the lead here with ace queen. But can you blame Guy from getting away from king 10?
Not at all. I throw it away also.
Turns to 4. JR needs help, or ace queen's going to take this one now.
I can't believe Kim's going to win this.
And the river's in ace, and the queen's going to play.
Oh, my.
And that is unbelievable. Guy actually saved himself money. Wow.
I mean, the funny thing is, if Guy calls or Guy moves all in, well, Kim's probably pot committed. I can't believe Kim won that pot.
Wow.
Oh, my God. This is crazy.
First 20 minutes of Live at the Bike here, dude. Absolutely incredible.
I tell you,
stuff.
we got some new phases here at Live at the Bike. We're playing no limit hold'em blinds of 5 and 5. This is a restricted buy-in, dude. We can buy in anywhere from 300 to 500. And we've already got a lot of money in this table.
Yep.
You know, it's funny. I was wondering now. Adam played it pretty good on Friday, when you know, he's a lot of money. He was up $9,000, and you wonder if with that much money he was almost a little afraid to mix it up.
Right.
But in this game, it's a little bit under where he normally plays, and you wonder if he's going to splash it around like this all night. Oh.
Well, he's on the button, Dave, with 9 deuce offsuit. So let's see what he's going to do with this. JR is going to play behind here in seat 3. He's going to play about 300 behind, and Button's going to raise with 9 deuce offsuit. Makes it 45 to go. And Kim quickly calls in seat 7 with king 9 of spades, and George is in there with ace deuce.
And I got to tell you, with all those callers in there, I got $1,500. I'm calling with Kim D's hand in seat 1.
5-7 of hearts?
Definitely, with all those callers in there, and I'm in late position.
Call. And Zach is also going to call with a Queen Jack Broadway.
I mean,
suited.
she knows her cards are live.
Yeah. Here we go.
5 players.
It's about a $235 pot to the flop 5 ways. What a flop for Zach. Top pair in the flush draw.
Yeah, we've seen some monster flops for people tonight.
Yep. Queen 5-4 with 2 diamonds.
That was actually the flop, by the way. I got knocked out in the pot limit tournament at the World Series. Almost exactly the flop.
It gets checked over to Zach, and he bets 150 with his monster here. I think he's going to take this one down.
Oh, nobody's got anything, of course. Take it down, Zach. Nice play. Nice pot.
What a flop there for Zach.
I actually talked about it in my blog during last year's World Series. A flop very similar to the flop. I actually had Queen Jack suited on the button. 5 players were in the pot. And the flop actually came out Jack 5-4 with 2 diamonds.
Yeah.
And I had Queen Jack and diamonds. And somebody else had Ace Jack. And we got it all in on the flop. And I didn't get there, obviously.
Eastern Block has said, I bet no one's happy to see the chips go to someone who folds queen pre-flop. Those chips probably aren't going anywhere. I gotta tend to agree with you.
Yeah, it's always funny. When you're sitting at a table, like Bart and I are sitting in a game, and we watch a couple of players, and the chips start flying around, you love to see them go in, like, let's say, Alan's hands, or even, like, in this case, Adam's hands.
Right.
Yeah, seat 1, the money goes there, it's pretty much not going anywhere.
On the last time? I laid.
You wonder sometimes, now, this is one of the reasons why I like this game. Sometimes you wonder, you look at a girl like Kim there. Now, she's obviously comfortable playing in this game, but is she comfortable having $1,600, $1,700 in front of her? Sometimes people play in this game, and when they start getting a lot of money, they become a little uncomfortable, and they play a little bit weak because of that. It's kind of the equivalent of, let's say, you get into a 5-10 game, and you build it your stack to, say, $8,000, $9,000, and people have you covered.
He's going to raise here to 15 by Adam. He's got 63 of clubs, the old That's Allen hand of clubs. Kind of a little pot builder. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people columns.
Yeah, I'm always looking to build a pot with 6-3 off, 6-3 suited.
So here we go, $90 pot, 6 ways.
Oh, wow, and he
How
flops
about that?
straight.
He flops a straight here, but it's all diamonds.
Now, interesting here,
Look at this,
Sai,
though. Sai swapped the wheel with the 3 of diamonds. He's open-ended with the straight flush draw.
he has an open-ended straight flush draw. Right?
Yeah. I mean, Sai actually does not have the best hand. Adam bets.
It's amazing. I mean, I got to tell you, Sai and Adam, this money's going to go in there, isn't it?
Let's see what Sai does here.
I mean, how do you get away from it? If you're Sai, you've got a wheel with the 3 of diamonds.
And he's going to check raise. And I think all the money's going in here on the flop, Dave.
All right.
And Adam pushes here. And this pot is going to be over 1,000. And as you can see, Adam is a favorite here. With 2 cards to come, Sai needs to catch a 6 to chop or a diamond to win.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, Sai's basically just on a flush draw.
He could also catch the no, he needs a diamond or a 6 to chop.
Yeah, that's it.
Regardless of the straight flush. So here we go to the turn.
You do have a diamond, man.
Turns a 4. Here we go to the river. River's a diamond, and Sai takes it down there with the 3, the flush.
And once again, you know, as lucky as Adam was, as well as running, as well as Adam was doing on Friday, is as bad as he's doing tonight.
You know, the funny thing there is that Sai check raises Adam. Luckily, everybody gets out of the hand. You look at that hand in a multi-way pot. If you see heat with ace 3 of diamonds, that hand is garbage. Now, if you've got the ace of diamonds and an offsuit 3, it's a little bit better, right?
Yeah, obviously, you've got to realize that. Now, if somebody has a high diamond, they have 2 less outs. That's the only thing nice about it. Because the 6 of diamonds gives you a straight flush and the ace of diamonds gives you a straight flush. So instead of having 9 outs, they only have 7 outs.
Right.
You still do have a straight, though. But you correctly pointed out, you don't want to take too much heat.
Now I'm on tilt.
I also want to mention, Dave, that a couple of people wrote into us.
Yeah.
You know, we have a replay that pretty much runs kind of on a 22-hour loop. At 5 p.m. Pacific time. 5 p.m. Pacific time, right? It stops at 5 to 7 Pacific time.
Yeah.
So if you log on at those times, the replay will not be on.
Obviously, during those 2 hours, we're preparing for our show that night.
Right.
Oh, yeah. No, no more damage.
Limps around, and Adam's in for another 500.
If you don't have a diamond,
And he's not in this hand, dude. 5-way action here.
Oh, there it is, diamonds. I mean hearts, I mean.
Queen, jack, 4 with a couple hearts.
Yep, Size got the flush draw.
Yeah, he's going to bet in with the second nut flush draw. No one has an ace, and he's probably going to take this one down.
Yeah.
Now, He-Man has got a gut shot to the queen with the 10 of hearts.
And I got to tell you, I mean, Adam does splash around. He's a gambler, very aggressive player. We were comparing him to Mike the other day. But today, he really hasn't gotten out of line. I mean, he flops a straight and he loses with pocket kings.
Right.
I mean,
I
got
got to tell you, though, well, the other thing, though, too, the interesting thing about that hand with 6-3 of clubs, if I bet that straight there and I get check raised by a solid player, and I think Sai is pretty solid, I think it's pretty easy sometimes to fold it away to a flop flush. Don't you? And even if he doesn't have a flop flush, Dave, I mean, the best you're up against is redraws with 2 cards to come.
Yeah, but I don't mind redraws. That means he has a flush draw, basically.
I understand that. You got to put the guy on a range of hands, though. Did he flop a flush? Does he have a high diamond? If he flops a flush, you're drawing dead. If he has a high diamond, yeah, you've got about a 65% chance to win.
Yeah, Sai's got pocket aces.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course, and obviously something. I'm just thinking that in this game where both these players had about $350 to $400 left, can you get away from a flop straight? And I'm not talking about the bad end of it, but he's got the top end of the straight.
And Sai's going to raise here on the button. He's got aces. He makes it 60 to go, just like Kim did over there in seat 1. Now again, Adam bought him for 500. There's no way he should call here with 7-8.
Yeah, but 7-8's a hand that he won a big pot on Friday with, and I bet he likes that hand.
Well, he's going to splash around here, Dave. Makes the call.
Now, in the bigger game, obviously, you can make that call because of a lot of chips behind you.
Now, is he going to get involved here with an 8-high flop?
Yeah, he probably won't get involved with this one.
King, queen. Look at this, he bets. He's going to bet 100.
And I got to tell you, I think this is just a call if you're Sai. I just call this.
You just hope.
Well, you got to think, if the guy's got a queen, he's got me beat. There's nothing I can do to get him off it, right? If he's got clubs, well, I have the ace of clubs in my hand. If he has jack 10, I also have both the 2 aces in my hands. I'm not really that scared of draws. And if he's got a king, I'm going to let him keep betting. Or if he's got nothing in this case, I don't think he can raise yet, other than any reason to raise.
Well, it's a $100 bet out into about a $140 pot.
I mean, is there any value to raising this?
Sucking out this time.
He says, I'm going to give you action, and he calls.
I like the smooth call. I mean, you and I, and look, he moves all in blind.
He's going to move. Yeah, Adam moves in blind here, and the turn's a 4. And this is going to put Sai to the test out. Now the pot is 640, 300 to call.
I think it's an easy call,
yeah,
I got to tell you.
He's getting 2 to 1 against a player like that.
A player who's been splashing around, who's already lost 2 buy-ins today. He's probably stuck 1,500 already.
It's about a $640 pot, about 300 to call here.
And that's why you just call this player. If you raise him on the flop, you're letting him off the hook. He obviously has to throw away 8 high.
It's actually 680, 340 to call, exactly 2 to 1 here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You got it, buddy.
And
Thank you.
Sai calls, and Adam is drawing dead. He goes back into his pocket.
I got to tell you, call me a fish, but I call there almost 100% of the time against a player like that.
River is inconsequential. It's a 5. Look at that. My God.
And Adam is now down over 3 buy-ins.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why sometimes, I will play big pots with players like Corporation Mike or a player like Jay, Indian Jay. Players like that get my action. And if I'm playing a hand like that against Adam or Corporation Mike or Jay, and they flop a queen, I'm going to pay them off. They've earned that, as far as I'm concerned. They try to bluff enough that it pays to call them.
Got an email here from Alex. He says, I was watching the Monday Night Loop earlier today and thought to myself, wow, watching these low-limit games can sometimes be slow, but this game is great. Alex, a.k.a. DJ Lex.
Well, we try to put a show out there for everybody, and obviously a lot of the people that are watching the show are Limit Hold'em players.
Right.
So you want to put a show out there for them. Obviously, Limit Hold'em is a viable game. So, 4 days out of the week, we do play No Limit.
Any chips here?
Limped around here. Again, 5-5 here. 5-5, no limit.
And is Adam back in for another 500?
Yes, I believe he is. 4-5-3 here.
Now, Zach's got an open in the straight draw, but he's got a nice side of it. He has the 6 with the 8. So if a 7 were to come, you see T over there with the queen 6. Now, if a 7 comes, Zach has got the nuts over T's hand.
Now, look at this. Kim D comes out and bets 15 here on this board. She's got a gut shot to the 6 with an overcard and backdoor diamonds. And Sai is going to raise with ace 4.
Yeah, actually, Kim D's double gutted. A 2 would give her straight as well.
Yeah, she's got double gut there.
But the deuce is kind of worthless, obviously.
Right. She's got to realize that, but she makes the call. Sai is raised with ace 4. Zach calls.
And T is in there, and T has got huge reverse implied odds here. If the 7 comes off.
He makes the call. And this pot is quickly $200 now. Remember, Kim D was the original bettor here with the double gut shot on the flop. Here we go to the turn. The turn's a 5, picks up a diamond draw now for
I
Kim
think
D.
if she fires again here, she might take it down.
Nobody has top pair.
Exactly.
And she's going to bet again. She's going to bet 150. She's going to represent top pair. Zach is quickly out of there. And Adam calls because he's picked up a lower flush draw with the pair.
Well,
he's
he's
got
got
the best hand right now.
Exactly. He's got a pair of 4s.
He's got the best hand, and this might drive everybody out.
And Kim needs a 6, a 7, an ace, or a diamond to win the hand.
500 to the river, and the river's a 9, and Adam's got the best hand.
Yeah.
What is she going to do now? I mean, Adam's got only maybe 200 left. I mean, he's already committed 300 to this hand, and he started with 500 in the hand. He's got about 200 left, Dave, or 200 or 300 left.
And I got to tell you, I mean, hey, you'd never think that Kim D would be bluffing this. I mean, I might throw away 9-4 here.
Well, can she fire the third bullet here?
No,
She's going to check, and he's going to check right behind there.
God, I love the bet on the turn there. And, man.
Would Adam have called there with a 9 if she fired again?
You know, we always say you never want to bluff somebody who's been losing. So he might have called just out of, like, kind of desperation, thinking the pot's too big, I can't throw this away. But I got to tell you, when a player like Kim fires once, then the top card pairs on the turn, and she fires again, I got to give her credit for a 5, don't you?
I don't think he calls it in
What I didn't know.
Well, not on the roof.
Button's going to move over here to seat 1.
Man, what a night on Live the Bike.
I don't think I do, but I definitely would consider it pretty heavy. Because I caught my 9. If she had 6s, 7s, or 8, I just beat her. You know, I mean, I thought she might play the bar.
Well, Adam's got ace 10 of hearts here. Second spot.
That's a raising game for him, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we got an ace jack and an ace queen, and all the aces are dead. We got an ace deuce as well. And Adam just limps in. Maybe he's trying to pull the limp re-raise. And seat 7 here, Guy, who's moved over, he raises to 20 with ace queen. Sai's going to call with 3-4. Ace jack is in there. Actually, ace jack re-raises to 120 here.
Man, talk about an action game.
Is Guy raised here? Is that the type of hand I want to re-raise Guy with? Ace jack? All the aces are dead. JR is out of the
Yeah, it's a
hand.
pretty easy laydown for Adam, isn't it?
He's going to call, though.
I mean, how do you call a raise and then a re-raise up to 120 with ace 10?
And now if you're Guy,
I think if you're Guy, it's an easy laydown as well. I mean, I don't think you can call this an ace queen, can you? I mean, I'd be throwing away the best hand, but there's no way I'm calling this.
actually, and I don't think Sai, even though he's got a ton of chips and Adam does too, 3-4 is just not good enough for 120. And we are heads up here, ace 10 against ace jack, and all the aces are dead. $280 pot going pre-flop.
Wow, what a flop.
Well, George, you know, he's got the ace jack and he hits top pair.
Yeah, Adam's in bad shape. Nothing like raising with ace jack and then hitting top pair.
Well, Adam's going to bet 75 here, and George moves all in for 300. Might be that again a time where you just call there and just let him bluff off the chips.
Definitely. Not
And
even
he moves
question.
all in for 310. It looks like.
It's one of the reasons. It's one of the reasons why sometimes when you're sitting in a game with me and I'm playing Mike, and I'll play Mike a very similar way, where I'll just call him down, and you kind of go, "Wow, Dave, you never showed any aggressive," but it's against the player who could be bluffing.
It's actually 235 more here, so the pot now is about. What is it? 600, 235 to call, and Adam calls. He needs running hearts or running tens.
That's
The turn's a heart. He needs a heart.
Oh,
And
that's-
the river's a heart! Are you kidding me?
that's
Oh, my
disgusting. Oh my
God!
God, I cannot believe that.
Wow!
That is such a bad call.
Oh!
Oh my. That is just sickening.
We have not loaded the deck here tonight, folks.
Oh, that is. And he even said, he goes, I told you, this is a bad call.
Yeah.
And I think maybe he was calling thinking his ace was good also. He was probably thinking, okay, this guy's got queens or kings. I'm going to call. Maybe I can hit my ace. He was only getting 3 to 1 on his money. I mean, there's 200 to call, $600 in the pot.
I don't even care.
I mean, sometimes there's $1,000 in the pot, and you're getting like 6, 7, 8 to 1. You can call.
Got an email here from Craig Rodriguez from Atlanta. He's talking about, he says, he knows that we don't prop anymore, but with poker's popularity soaring, how do people even become props? Wouldn't the competition be through the roof? Well, let me tell you, Craig, if you've ever checked out the circuit, or if you haven't checked out the circuit, head over to cardplayer.com and listen a little bit to the show that we did about a month and a half back. We go over that a little bit on the circuit. I'm not going to really get into it now.
But yeah, I mean, generally though, there are still casinos out there, and a lot of them at higher props.
Right.
I don't even care.
You got to realize that, on a Friday and Saturday night, most of the casinos don't need help. But how about a Monday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Look at this. Adam straddled here in seat 5, Dave, and he's going to raise it out of the straddle with 3-4 clubs.
You show me ace jack or something.
That is unbelievable. Ace 10 of hearts. Wow.
And Adam says, he goes, if you show me ace jack, I probably fold.
Yeah, I would think so.
I think he really thought he had queens or kings, and
Yeah.
he said, you know what, I got an ace, maybe I'll get lucky. And suddenly Adam is now dangerous again, because Adam's got about $1,100, $1,200.
My straddle.
And he's going to take down that dead money there. And I got to tell you, Adam watches the show. Because
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
when he was playing the 5-10, I actually didn't even know he watched the show until he started saying some things when you and I were at the table that made me realize that he did watch the show.
And what was your clue when he said, man, those morons who do live at the bike?
Well, yeah, that too, but I'm kind of, he actually flopped a big hand and he bet the flop, and sometimes I'm an ass, like, you should have checked it, right? You should have checked it. He's like, no, these two idiots say build the pot on live with the bike. Here we go with the first chip count. Wow, over $6,000 here on a 3 to 5 game.
That's insane.
Let's take a look at where these guys were beginning of the show. Kimby up 900, Cy up 900, Adam down 750, but he was down almost 2,000, wasn't he?
Right away, he lost over 3 buy-ins.
And George is down $1,000. He's in 2 buy-ins.
Man.
Yeah. Great work there by Donna. We were trying to get the chip count out like 20 minutes ago, but stack sizes just kept moving.
Yeah.
Every hand. Now we had a raise here. I believe it was by
Okay, this could be one of the times you got all no clubs.
King 8-3 here. Now did Adam raise it pre-flop? I couldn't quite tell.
I gotta tell you, so far I really like Kim's game. I thought at first she was gonna be a little tight weak when she threw away those queens, but she's kind of mixing it
And
up.
actually,
She's in there with 4-5.
Dave, I'm getting word that she raised with 4-5 here. One off the cutoff. Now, that's not the
okay.
flop. Adam comes out and bets here with Jack 10. Cy calls in the middle with middle pair.
Well, it's an easy laydown with 4-5 suited there.
And Adam bet 25 and a call here by Cy with middle pair. The turn's 6. Adam checks. And Cy is going to bet here 50, actually 75, and he's going to take the turn.
Kim would have picked up the open-ended straight draw, but would not have gotten there. The 9 of hearts on the river.
You'll have your chance.
Thank you.
Everyone will have their chance.
No. I am not.
You're going to go broke or double up.
So she's got a lot of chips, he's got a lot of chips. We've got a ton of other people with a lot of chips as well.
I think you just said you're either going to go broke or double up.
Those are the options, right?
I guess so. I mean, there are other options. It's a cash game, isn't it? It's not a tournament.
I don't know.
Once again, I want to remind everybody, tomorrow night we've got our big game. It's no limit hold'em, $3,000 minimum buy-in, 25-50 blinds, unrestricted max buy-in. And if you want to play that game, please send me or Bart a private message over at our 2+2 account. Or you can always also email us at liveatthebike.com.
Look at this. Adam's got pocket kings, Dave, in the small blind. Time for him to really push with his image. Let's raise here, Adam. Big. And he is.
Raise 100 more.
He's going to make it 100 more. And let's see if anybody calls him with garbage. Look at seat number 9. He's got ace 9. Might he call? We saw him call with 5-6 earlier.
3, 4, 5. It's like,
I think he might.
A guy is going to call with ace deuce, Dave. He calls with ace deuce of clubs. This is how your image works into this. Totally. Wow.
you're out. I'm all in.
It's one of the reasons you want that gambling image, you know?
And Adam's going to move all in blind, and Guy doesn't have any chips left. He has to call. Guy only has about $50 left.
I mean, you look at like a player like T
we go
in
to the
seat
flop.
6.
I got 2 diamonds, bro.
Wow, what a horrible flop for ace deuce. But Guy, he only has 50 left. That's like 400.
What a terrible flop for kings.
Do you have a diamond?
Ah.
No. Okay. Do you have anything you want to do some sort of deal?
Well, you actually can't run deals here at the table. Donna will let the players know that.
I'm gonna run it with you. You can't run down?
Not in the 3-5 game.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. What's it?
Yeah, remind him it's actually in the game's higher than this. He can do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Turns a deuce here. Guy could catch running deuces or an ace. Well, the river's a 5. How about running deuces there, Dave? That would have been horrific. My God.
That was fun.
And Adam, once again, wins another pot.
Take it down, Adam. Hey, you know what? Well, we see it with Corporation Mike. We see it with players like this all the time. Players that are real laggy, loose, aggressive. They're going to have big swings. Their variance is huge. I mean, his stack size could go up to 3,000 and back to broken really quick.
Yeah.
Right, calling ace 10 all in $300 with a backdoor flush drive not lose.
220 with 600 in the pot. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
220, 600 in the pot. You guys any pocket there? And I've already lost 1,000 with kings and straight, so I call that all. That's the easy call.
Pocket 7s here for Kim D in seat 1.
You gotta look at the numbers, though. You gotta look at the numbers.
Ace, make it 30.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I saw the lineup here. I was really worried the game would be a little passive and weak. And we actually had Francois in the game, and he got up because he thought the game was too weak.
Kim D's going to raise with 7s. She makes it 30. Adam calls with 5-3. And you know what here, Dave? 5-3 offsuit against Kim D on the button, and Ahmed's deep. I don't mind this call at all by Adam here on the button.
Of course not.
Especially if you think you can outplay her if she plays a little bit weak.
Well, the funny thing is her image, you'd think she has queens or kings or aces right now.
Well, 3-4-10 here. Kim's got the best hand.
Yeah, it's tough to play this, though.
Now, she's not going to come out and bet, though.
Wow, I'm
Surprisingly,
really
with 7s.
surprised.
And now Adam's going to bet. He's going to bet 250 or a 50? He bets 50. Okay.
Wow, and Guy's calling with Jack 9 of
What is
spades.
Guy? I mean, this is exactly what we talk about. When you play crazy like Adam does, sometimes it makes a tight player seem to play crazy as well. I guess Guy did not call. He owed money in the pot.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why.
I'm sitting there thinking to myself and going, Jack 9 of spades on that flop? What are you looking for?
Now, it's back over to Kim D here. She's got 7s, and she's not even going to get involved, and that is the problem when you don't bet that flop.
It's also a problem, and I was going to say, like I said before, Kim has a lot of money in front of her now. Adam's got a lot of money in
She
front of her.
might not feel comfortable, like you said, right?
And you know Adam is.
Right.
Remember, Adam was just playing in a game where he had $6,000, $7,000 in front of him.
Right.
So this is not a big deal to him. This might be a big deal to her. Who knows?
Right.
I got to tell you, so far I like her game.
I thought he called.
We had a nice 20-40 stud high-low game going on. I saw Ronnie in the game. I wonder how he did.
What are you talking about? Today,
This it.
He didn't do
well.
over here to seat 6.
even his relatives who play.
Buttons over here in seat 6. Limp here by King D.
You know how I do it?
Queen Jack suited. King 10
I
limps.
divide my time here up by how much it costs to go to the movie and do the same.
Now seat 4 here is limped with pocket 9s, Dave. One before Adam. Maybe he was going for the limp re-raise of Adam, but he did not raise one off the cutoff.
It's funny, Adam's not crazy. He doesn't raise every hand, though. He kind of picks
Seven-way
his
action,
spots.
and Kim has flop top 2, and Zach is open-ended. So I assume that Kim is going to bet. Oh, she's going to check here. And Zach's going to bet with the draw. He bets 20. He's got an open-ended straight draw. I guess she's going to check raise. And look at this. Seat number 4 here, He-Man is called with queen with a weak kicker. It's actually JR who had the 9s.
I think it's an easy raise for her, and she is going to raise.
100.
She's going to make it 100. Now, if you're real deep and Zach isn't all that deep, if you were in position, what do you put her on here? Could you call with an open-ended straight draw if you're real deep? Thing is, like, if an ace or a 9 come, I think it's a little bit obvious. Well,
Is
what
it
would
really?
she pay you off with?
I don't know. Straights are never that obvious. People are always looking for flushes. Sometimes when a 9 comes off, it's hard. People just don't see it. I mean, if you have a lot of experience playing, you do. But
And everybody folds.
yeah. I mean, I will often call I will often call raises with straight draws, and I will usually not call with flush draws. And the reason, at least in my head, is people always see the flush. There's 2 diamonds out there, everybody goes, oh, I can't let you chase the flush. And if the 3rd diamond comes out there, they see it. Even the most inexperienced player knows to look for the flush. And when there's 3 of one suit out there, they just assume you have it. The straights, though, unless it's like an obvious straight, like, the board is 5, 6, 7, 8, and you have a 9. Okay, you're not going to get paid off on that one. But sometimes if you have a double gutter, it's not so obvious, the cards all kind of look weird, and you hit your straight, you can really get paid off big. We had Kenneth James in the booth, and he used to talk about how that's the hand that he makes most of his money on in No Limit Hold'em. Button moves over to seat number 7, and limps around 4 ways, $20 pot to the flop. Flop is King, Jack, 4, 2 clubs. And Cy's got a flush draw with a pair of jacks, got a pretty big hand. And he checked it up front. And seat 4, He-Man is going to bet his king. And Cy is just going to call. And the pot now is 100. And there's the flush, 8 of clubs. And of course, it's pretty obvious. Let's see if He-Man shuts down. And he checks. The river's an 8. And He-Man's kicker doesn't even play. He-Man can't even beat a real king. Can you imagine Cy's going to put some money out there now? It's not a real big bet. It's only $50. Kind of a little value bet. And he's going to get paid. He-Man's going to call him. And Cy takes it down with the flush. Button moves over to Cy. Small blind is George. Big blind is going to be Kim D. I guess I've been harassing my wife into coming down here. I really want to get her on the show.
Yeah, why won't she play on the show?
I've been dying to get her on the show. She says she wants to play a little bit, get her,
play the 200.
Get her confidence back before she goes on the show, though.
Again, do you have a blind bet?
I told her I wouldn't watch.
You're not actually.
It's a blind bet, though.
But you have
You
to
can
be
leave it out there.
Yeah, I don't see that.
So the button's over here in seat 8. It's Cy. Limp here by, and all in. All in here by seat 4. Again,
85 to win 10.
Again, I never understand it. He's got ace-5 of diamonds. And Adam's going to call him with king 10.
Well, hey, I guess at this table it makes sense. Because people are calling him with worse hands. Generally, generally, you're only going to get called by if you're beaten.
We can see one of the kings is dead here. So ace-high is in the lead. One of the aces is dead as well. Here we go, $200 board run.
Oh, wow.
Adam's open-ended here. He can catch a king. Well, jack here on the turn. And the river's a 4 and ace-high. How many no-pair hands have we seen win these board runs?
I mean, he had a lot of outs there. Any ace, any king, any 9, and any 10 would have done it. Man. Live at the fight.
Interesting post here by Paul90804 asking about the games that we spread on Tuesday and Thursday. Now, on our schedule, I think it does say $80 no limit, but I think we've kind of gotten to do 200s now. We might change that when it's posted up on the website.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we are going to try an 80 this week?
I like it.
I mean, we like to keep the games open. I mean, from what it looks like, it seems like Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of like our smaller no-limit games, but we kind of leave it open in case something special can happen. Special event. Monday we try to do limit hold'em, and obviously Wednesdays and Fridays are our big deep stack no-limit games.
So it either would be 80 or 200. And of course, you can just get down here early by 4 or 5, put your name on the board. You can also, whenever you call the bike during the afternoon, and I've said this before, Dave, you can ask for myself or David, or you can ask for Donna. I'm usually here out of those 3. I'm the first one that's here. But the board girls who run the board in the plaza really do not know what the game is.
Right.
Sai's going to bet 40 here with middle pair. Now, Kim D's got a flush draw. She's got a dry flush draw from up front. She's not going to get involved.
And I don't mind that play at all. Once again, it's hard to get paid off on that. It's just really obvious if a spade comes.
Now, Adam's got bottom pair here, and he gets away from it.
Now, if you've got some sort of other draw, let's say you've got queen 10 of spades or deuce 5 of spades. Okay, well, then you've got some other outs.
Again, if you call the Bicycle Casino up, say, after 3 o'clock, you can ask for the Upper Plaza, connect me to the Upper Plaza Poker, and you can ask for me. because I'm usually here after 3. Really, you can ask for David or Donna usually after 5. And get you on the board.
Yeah. And once again, I will remind you, if you want to play in Wednesday's game or Friday's game, both are the deep stack no limit games. I'm actually already taking a list for those games.
Yep.
So let us know you want to play in them. You can email us.
Sorry.
Limped around here. Buttons over there. Seat number 1. 6-way action here, so it's a $30 pot.
Wow, nice spot for 6-3 at diamonds there, huh?
Yeah, top and bottom here for side.
45.
Top and bottom with a backdoor flush draw.
But Adam is going to come out and bet because he's got top pair. He's got Jack 6 and he bets. Now, I think that if you're side, you definitely have to raise here.
Oh, easy raise.
Very, very coordinated, and he does.
You've got to put pressure. If anybody has a 5 behind you, you can't let him in there.
5 or a heart draw.
Yeah. Now, if somebody has a 5 and a heart draw.
Wow, look
hey,
at this.
no
And
way.
Adam is going to call without a second thought.
Well, Adam's got outs. I mean, if he catches a 4 or a jack, he's ahead.
That's right. 4 would counterfeit size 2 pair. Here we go to the turn. Turns an ace, and it's a third heart.
Yeah, and now Adam can catch a 4, an ace.
And he's going to bet 150 into about a $500 pot here, and this really puts the pressure on side.
And look what he's doing here. He figured, okay, if I catch my jack, I'm good. Maybe if I catch my 6, I'm good. But hey, if I catch a heart, maybe I can represent.
And he calls, so now the pot is 800.
And he needs an ace, a 4, or a jack.
But again, Adam can, really put more pressure on him. Both these guys are really deep stacked.
Yeah, if Adam bets like, how much is the pot? 800.
800.
If he
He
bets,
checked blind though, Dave. He checked blind, and the river's a deuce, and this one might just go check.
Yeah, I imagine it will.
Yep. I mean, if Adam were to bet that river, I don't know how side could possibly call. There's almost nothing he can beat.
Yeah, I don't understand what Adam's thinking there. You can't think that your 6 is good, can you? If you're
There's no
Adam?
way that he can have the best hand there on the turn.
And the funny thing is, once the deuce comes down there, let's say you put Adam on a draw. Let's say Adam doesn't have a 6, you put him on a heart draw. Okay, well, the heart's got there. Okay, so forget the hearts.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a 5. When another deuce comes, you can't beat that either. You really can't beat anything with 6-3.
I gotta tell you though, but I think Cy played it like a hand where he either flopped a set or 2 pair. Now, obviously it's tough for a guy like that to lay a set down, but he raised the flop, Dave. If you bet 500 on the river, even with the set, a lot of guys might lay that down. With bottom 2 pair there, I think he lays it down.
Yeah, it's a real tough call.
Did he really raise there with a 5 with 2 hearts on board? I mean, Cy's a pretty solid player. I think it smells like 2 pair or a set.
It does. You're right. I mean, it's always easier said than done. Obviously, for us in the booth, it's really easy to say, what are you doing? Don't check blind. Bet into him.
Yeah.
I think maybe Adam was thinking that he was betting into a heart draw, betting right into a flush, and he didn't want to lose any more money.
5-way action here. We need to see seat 3's cards. Oh, we got seat 3's cards. Ace, ace, jack here.
Not a good flop for Adam's 8s, but he is in the lead.
And it's going to get checked around here.
Leave him in there. Oh, leave him in there?
Turns a 5. 8s are still good. Let's see if Adam throws a bet out now.
He's in great shape, too. I mean, nobody's got anything, really.
He's going to bet 20 here. Unless someone wants to really play back at him with nothing. I mean, everyone's going to fold here.
Now, you see JR actually has a 16% chance of winning this hand because he can catch a jack or a king.
Right.
A jack would kill Adam's hand, would counterfeit his hand, and then JR's king would play.
Look at that. Look at Cy. He's got a lot of chips over there now.
I mean, you've got 3 players in this game with a lot of money. Hey, Cy's got almost over $2,000.
I see the money there. And
Man.
I'm like in the fatherland.
Adam is going to take it down here.
Yeah, call.
Wondering why everyone's staring at
And the
me.
river would have been a 4. Wouldn't have changed anything.
Thinking about something.
Adam would have won it with 8s anyway.
No.
Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. And we are playing No Limit Hold'em. Lines are 5 and 5. It's a restricted buying game. You can buy anywhere from $300 to $500. But we have over $7,000 on the table right now.
Yeah. Button's going to move over here to seat 3.
Ace. 35.
And we get a raise here to 35 with ace king. And I think, well, Adam's got 4-6 of hearts. He calls. And here we go. Heads up, ace-king against 4-6 of hearts. There's the king. A horrible flop for Adam. He has bluffed into a lot of boards that he's totally missed, but he's going to check and fold, it looks like this time.
Yeah, you know.
George
Yeah,
bets
Adam's
45.
instincts are pretty good. I mean, you just got to realize sometimes pick your spots. You can't win every single pot.
And he gives it away. Or he folds. Gives it up.
Button moves over to seat 4. Small blind is Adam, $5. Big blind is T.
Boy, it'd be fun. You know, these guys can change up if they want. They can color up. I mean, Sai's got, what, almost 2,000? He could get 1,500 in whites and some purples if he wanted to.
Well, it's always funny when sometimes when I look at a 3 to 5 game, I always go, how did that so much money on this table? Because sometimes you look at it and go, one guy's got $3,000, another guy's got $3,500. And I got to tell you, with $5 blinds, this game plays huge.
Got a little $15 raise here by Guy under the gun with deuces.
I mean, Sai is 400 times the big blind right now.
Adam calls him with that's Allen hand, and T is in there with ace-10 of diamonds. Well, Adam has got bottom pair and he's open-ended. He gets checked over to Guy. He bets. He's got a pair and he's bottom open-ended. He bets 40, and Adam is going to check raise him here.
Yeah, Adam's got a pretty decent hand there.
55 more.
And I think the Guy might continue on here, and he makes the call. He needs an ace here. A deuce would be no good, right?
A deuce is no good. He needs an ace or a 6.
Or 6. Turns a 10.
I mean, his straight draw is good, and that's it.
Now Adam bets 100. And Guy calls. And I think if you're Adam here, you probably just push the rest of the money in here.
Yeah, well, Guy's got no money left.
Yeah, here we go to the river. River's a king.
And Adam's going to take this down.
Adam actually checked it on the river. And the 3 there is good.
Yeah. You know what? And that meta game, you know, you have the appearance to be a gambler. You show down some kind of, you know, questionable hands, and it kind of drives the entire table crazy.
Yep.
Gets everybody off their game, and you get paid off with a pair of 3s.
Yep.
I don't really play like that, you know.
Man.
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Check out a live thread started on 2plus2.com spelled out. You can also become our friend on MySpace.
How many friends do we have now?
/live@thebike. Oh, almost close to 300 or 400 now. Now we're getting into groups, trying to get into some poker groups and such.
Oh, that's great.
And we'll be posting some bulletins up in the near future over there, so take a look for us.
Are you getting posting? Are you doing that?
I think I'm going to leave that to the lovely Evelyn.
Oh, okay.
To do that. I've ruined a lot of her work on there already. I'm a hands-off approach now. Adam is raised here on the button with 9-10 of diamonds.
Yeah, he's dominated if JR calls, but JR does not call.
But Guy is going to call. He's playing 100 behind a short buy. He's going to call with ace-3. Kim D gets rid of the ace-3, and we've got... Guy actually has pocket 3s here.
Well, once again, he has an underpair to the board.
And look at 7-6 here. Zach's open-ended with backdoor hearts and overcards.
How about Kim D's hand?
Well,
Kim's
Kim
not in
D's
there.
not in the hand.
Oh.
Everybody checks. Now the turn's a 3, and
Ooh.
Zach makes a straight, and he's got a flush draw now.
Yeah, but Guy's got a full house.
That's right. He turned the full house.
Wow, and that is a case 3.
Yeah.
It falls to kill Zach. I mean, that is just a bad card for Zach. What a cold deck.
Now, Guy here,
3 of hearts on the turn.
Guy checks. Zach bets 65 here, and it looks like Guy is going to check raise. Oh, he just called. Now, Zach has outs here to the...
Straight flush, 5 of hearts.
5 of hearts. River's a 10.
It's odd when somebody has a full house and the guy's a straight, and the straight still has outs.
And now, you know, the funny thing here is that, okay, Guy's going to come out and bet, and I think that Zach is going to call. He calls. But the way the Guy played that, in a more of a deep stack game, the problem with playing that way, the check call on the turn, the river comes out club and you bet. Now 7-6 obviously can't beat a full house, but more pertinently, look at the flush that's out there. Kills the action.
Yeah, you really can't beat much there with 7-6.
There you go.
Thumbs up for Guy.
I mean, it's a perfect example of how slow playing can kill your action if a scared card comes on the river, right?
Yeah, Guy's popped his cherry. Good for him.
I got the river.
Closer to our $5 chips.
And done with the first hour of the show here.
What an action-packed first hour. Welcome Brian to the booth. Into the box there.
Button's going to move over here to seat 6. Key.
Except when he has pocket aces and the nut flush.
Yeah, that would have been nice way to go.
And again, you're probably dealing with two people that got a lot of chips on the table, Kim D and Cy, that might not be comfortable playing real deep stack, and Adam, who is comfortable, and he's deep stack. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
And Kim might be really waiting. You'll see, is she going to wait for the nuts to really push her chips in?
Now, Adam's going to raise here with ace-queen offsuit. George's got pocket jacks here in the big blind. It's a $40 raise by Adam. Let's see what George is going to do here with jacks.
So against Adam here, I definitely raise it up, and he is going to. Against a real tight player, you might just call with jacks.
He raises.
If you get called or you get played back at, you get re-raised, well, then what do you do with your jacks?
He makes it 100 more, and Adam quickly calls. And we've got about a $300 pot here going to the flop. Well, 10-8-8. Jacks is an overpair.
It's not a bad flop at all for jacks.
And George is going to bet 200 here. And this is an easy lay down for Adam. Again, no full equity. We're not that deep against George.
Right.
I have one club on it. I do have one club. Let's see one card.
And he's counting the pot here. He's getting about 2 to 1 on his money, maybe 2.5 to 1 on his money. But I mean, in this case, he's got nothing.
You don't know if the queen is good.
Exactly. George could easily have kings.
The only way the queen would be good is specifically up against jacks, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, unless you put your opponent maybe on ace-king, but in that case, only a queen is good.
Right.
I mean, this is actually one of those rare times.
And he makes the call here. Wow.
It's not that bad a call when you look at it. I mean, he's getting about 2.5 to 1 on his money, and he's about a 3 to 1 dog.
You mean because George didn't have any more money left?
Exactly.
He moves all in, and Adam calls, and Adam needs an ace.
Oh, no, George actually had more money.
George had more money. And look at this, the river's an ace! That's what I was trying to tell you, Dave, that George had 100 behind.
Oh, I didn't see. I thought
you said it was 2.5 to 1. You thought he was all in, but he actually had 100 more.
Oh, then it's an easy. I mean, it's a bad call no matter what.
Right.
But sometimes, once in a while, if let's say the pot is really big, you're getting, say, 3.5 or 4 to 1, and you just have overcards, you can call that, you know, every once in a while. I guess it's kind of an image enhancer.
Right.
It's really a donkey call.
Right.
But hey,
more?
It's not a terrible call if you've got some sort of backdoor flush draw.
Well, the funny thing, though, again, though, about calling there in that situation, like you said, let's say you're getting 3 to 1. But in that particular situation, on that particular flop, with ace-queen, I don't think you get involved, because there's no way, unless the guy has specifically jacks, you're calling with one overcard, really.
Right. I mean, if the guy doesn't have jacks, you are probably more like a 6 to 1 dog, or
right.
a 7 to 1 dog.
Right.
You know, you need a lot more.
Yeah.
If you've got ace-king there, okay, it's a little bit better, but still, you really don't. I don't even like to call bets with overcards.
And Adams quickly run up his stack here again. George is down 3 buy-ins. 4-way action here. Limped around.
10-9-3. Open-ended for Guy.
How about Jack 9's got middle pair here. Kim D here in seat 1, and the blind's got a gut shot to his jack.
There's 3 to be by. 3 times.
If the jack were to come, it would actually be reverse implied odds for Guy, because Guy would make a straight, but Kim's straight would be higher.
15.
Well, I'm not sure if Kim's going to stick around, though.
Adam's going to bet 15 here on the flop, and Guy's going to call there with the open-ended straight draw with the 2 flush out there. George overcalls with middle pair with a 6 kicker, and Adam is in the lead now at Jack 9. Here we go to the turn. The turn's a 5. Jack 9 is still good here.
Nope.
50.
Adam bets 50 now.
Keeps the pressure on him.
This is a garbage draw here for Guy.
Yes.
He folds. Now, is George going to call him again? Remember, these two, I mean, Adam's taking like 1,500 from George, and Adam's in great shape, and the river's a 4. This one might go check here, Dave.
Check.
Yep, and Jack 9's going to take it down.
Jack.
There it is.
Adam's going to win it. Take it down, Adam. Obviously, one of the reasons why it is a garbage draw, you're probably wondering at home, then why is that a garbage draw? You've got to realize there's 2 diamonds out there and 2 clubs out there.
Yep.
And if a diamond comes, you don't know if you're good. If a club comes, you don't know if you're good. So instead of the normal 8 outs to a winner there, you've got to start reducing it and go, no, now I only have 4 clean outs.
Yeah.
And if it comes out of jack, you don't even have the nuts.
Button's going to move here to seat 9, George, and Adam has really gotten the best of George.
If you have any questions, criticism, comments, please email us at live@thebike.com. We'd love to keep the show as interactive as possible.
Now, Cy is in the cutoff here. This is a pretty loose table. He's got king queen off. I like the raise here. He's going to make it 40 to go. Buys himself the button. I mean, Adam is linked in, Dave, with deuce 5 offsuit mid-position.
What do you call it?
God, you call it. Oh, you're going to
Now,
call
the funny thing here, though, is Adam is so deep and so is Cy. Adam's going to call. I mean, that's a real stretch with deuce 5, but...
I mean, if you put the guy at aces and you think you can win, say, 1,500 if you hit your hand.
Or heads up.
He's really made a little money. How do you win?
Well, he's hit the deuce and he has the best hand.
And we talk about it all the time, though. Cy's actually not in bad shape. He's got a gut shot with overcards.
And Cy's going to bet when it gets checked to him. He bets 60, and Adam makes a quick call without a second thought. Here we go to the turn.
Check.
The turn's a queen, and now Cy's got the best hand. It's a third heart.
And nobody has it.
Check, check, and the river's a jack. And Cy's got the king here. And Adam's going to bet 75, and is it just a call here? There's 3 hearts
I
on
think
board.
so.
And Cy just calls.
I mean, you've got to realize, what can you raise here with and get called with, right?
Ace king, you might raise.
Oh, ace king.
Maybe Adam has got a king, obviously.
Exactly. But if you raise the king there, I mean, I don't even think an 8 calls. And I'm pretty sure 2 pairs would call you.
You should call him every time he's in. Add on the flop. Straddle. There you go.
We're going to take a look at a straddle pot here out of seat 4, so it's going to be $10 to go.
I think this game needs any more action.
And I think Cy is going to color up. About time over there in seat 8.
And I can't beat anything.
I think he can get some white chips.
Straddle.
At least purple. Jeez.
Straddled pot here, again, by seat 4. Now, George in seat 9 has got a king-queen offsuit in a cutoff. Let's see if he raises.
Seat 8.
See, I think in the cutoff, I think it's a clear raise. And look, Kim D has got pocket 9s in the button, so if he doesn't raise...
75.
And I gotta tell you, the way George has been splashing around, I might re-raise if I'm Kim D.
Yeah, George is going to make it 75 to go. He's about maybe, what, 300 or 400 behind. Kim D's got 9s on the button. Remember, though,
75.
wow, she just folds. Real tight play there. I mean, you might look at it like, well, George doesn't have enough money for me to call. Yeah, but maybe I want to call Adam behind. Look at everybody else in front of you.
Yeah, there's $70 with pot.
And she's the button.
And she's getting 2 to 1
Yeah.
just by the call because there's dead money in there.
65 to call.
I don't understand how you fold 9s there on the button.
65 to call you. And our T limped in with an ace-10 of spades. He actually has the best hand right now.
Now, if somebody were to raise and then somebody else re-raises, hey, my 9s hit the mug faster than anything. But, I mean,
He folds.
I can't give George respect there. Not the way he's been playing tonight. He's already down $1,300, $1,400.
No call play.
And George takes it down.
Look at that. He takes down about a $80 pot.
And the funny thing is if Kim called there on the button, I guarantee you that Adam probably calls and maybe Cy calls.
I mean, I got to tell you, somebody raising in a cutoff there, I can easily put them on a steal raise or something not too strong. Maybe something like King Queen or Ace Jack or something like that. I'm not necessarily going to give them credit for a big hand. I'm going to re-raise it with pocket 9s. I'm probably going to make it 200 to go. And I'm not scared because what I'm doing there is I'm going to get rid of everybody else, and I'm isolating George, who's very short shift anyway. I have huge amount of fold equity, and if George calls me, okay, well, I can only lose 200 more anyway.
Right.
30. There's a straddle.
Zach's got pocket king to the button. Now, I believe Guy raised it. He made it $30 with ace 10.
Yep.
Raise it 100.
And Zach is going to make it 130.
Yep. And if you've been watching Zach, this is an easy fold for Guy here with ace 10 of hearts.
Yeah, real easy.
But he makes the call.
And what the hell do we know?
And here we go. It's about a $300 pot going heads up. Jack 8-5. Kings is the overpair.
That's a great flop for ace 10 of hearts. Real easy to get away from.
All in.
And Zach moves all in when it's checked to him because Guy only has about 150 left.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I know a lot of players that like to play it tricky, like to, no, maybe I'll slow play it. Maybe you can catch it. Just take the money. I mean, look, Guy might call him anyway.
You show me if I let you have it?
And let you have it?
Zach said, I'll show you. I'll show you.
Yeah.
There it is. I feel like a little deja vu here. Paul 9084. Didn't I just go through this?
What did he say?
On 2 plus 2?
Right.
Exactly.
Maybe he didn't hear me. Again, Thursday is probably going to be $80 or $200 no limit. If you ever want to play on the show on Tuesday and Thursday, or for that matter on Wednesday or Friday or Monday, you can always call the bike in the afternoon after 3. Ask for the upper Poker Plaza level. Ask for me, Bart, and or ask for Donna and Dave after 5 o'clock.
And if you want, I can actually give everybody Bart's home phone number, so he can set it up. His number's actually
45.
$45 razor by Seat 9. 8675309, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great song. Isn't
Time.
$45 bet here by George, or raise with ace-7 suited, and Zach has got big slick suited here.
it? They got me going, man. I gotta tell you, we need music in the background here. That's a great song.
Now Zach is just going to call. Now you made the point earlier, you're not necessarily giving George credit. He might be steaming a little bit. And look at that. Actually, Zach does re-raise here with ace-king.
Yeah, I mean, I like to play. And sure enough, George had ace-7. And that's one of the reasons why I just think folding pocket 9s there by Kim, I think it's a little bit negative EV. I'm all for picking your spots, but a hand like pocket 9s, that's a hand where you can flop a monster.
And George calls, and he's dominating here out of position. Here we go, 300 to the flop, heads up. Queen, deuce, 3. Let's see how this one goes.
So you're also not scared. Now, see if it's Adam or if it's, say, it's Kim or say it's Cy, they have a lot of money behind.
And look at this, George has missed, and he's going to bet all in here on the flop. He's going to bet 340.
And this is one of those times where I think if you're Zach, you can call. And this is one of my things I'm saying. Now, there's a chance this guy has nothing. There's a chance he has a queen, right?
Well, he's getting only 2 to 1, Dave. He's getting 2 to 1. It's about a $680 pot just with overcards here. He's got
Isn't there a
backdoor
chance this guy,
hearts.
but isn't there a chance he's missed? Isn't there a chance this guy is bought in now? He's down 3 buy-ins. Isn't there a chance that he's just steaming through his money?
Well, if he had pocket 9s, you'd be about a 3 to 1 dog. So I guess if you say there's a chance he has nothing, and then there's slightly a chance that maybe he has, you know, a pocket pair below that. Look at that. The turn would have been a king.
The only thing I'm saying is you start thinking, if you start putting your opponent on a range of hands. Let's say you put him on a queen 50% of the time. Let's say you put him on a pocket pair lower than queens,
Right.
25% of the time. The only thing that's odd is oftentimes if somebody has a queen there, they will check raise because they want the action. It's more likely to me he has nothing there, or he's got, say, a smallish pocket pair like pocket 5s, pocket 6s, pocket 7s.
Let's take a look at another chip count here. Wow, almost 8,000 on the table. And Cy's got almost 2,000 there.
Adam with 1,800. He's also colored up.
Let's take a look at the differences.
Time to call.
Man, what a comeback for Adam. I got to tell you, he's probably even now.
We'll see the differences here in a second, I think.
25.
Pocket 8s for George. Got a couple of black 8s, and I think he's going to raise it up or he's just going to call.
Here are the differences real quick. Size up 1,600.
And look at Adam. He's only down 200 now.
Yeah. So we had a raise here by seat 2 with Jack-10 spades, Dave. One off the cutoff, and
6 players.
looks like $30 times 6, about $180 pot going to the flop. Ace 9-7 with a couple of clubs. Well, Cy's in there with ace rag. Again, ace rag. He does not have the best hand because He-Man has him out kicked here on the button.
75.
Now, Zach is going to make a little continuation bet. He bet 75 into about $180 pot here with Jack-10.
Well, he does have backdoor spades, and he's got a gut shot.
And it looks like He-Man is pretty much all in here. I got his calls with about 25 left.
I got to tell you, when I raise with Jack-10 of spades and I get called in 5 spots, I shut down. I just check and fold.
Call.
He-Man calls, Cy overcalls. I don't know about this with Cy. I mean, you got a bet and a call by He-Man, and Cy overcalls with ace-3. And he's got the ace of clubs.
Has to go. 3 players.
And here we go to the turn. The turn's a king.
Wow,
And
and
now
now it's
Zach,
interesting for Zach.
Zach picks up.
Double gutter.
He's got a double gutter with the flush draw, with the royal flush draw.
Yeah, an 8, a queen, or a spade will give him the pot. And an 8 will really be his gin card because He-Man will have 2 pairs.
And everybody checks.
Oh,
And the river's a 3, and Cy makes aces up.
but could somebody represent clubs here?
Well, he's going to bet. He's going to bet 100 here.
Kind of a little bit of a blocker bet, you think, huh?
And again, He-Man called on the flop tee, but he only had 25 left. I don't know what. I mean, is he going to fold now? The pot is like, I mean, the pot's almost $340, 25 to call.
And he's thinking about it. And nobody says, he goes, I know you have me beat. I just want to see your hands.
I know you have me beat. I just want to see your hand.
Oh, come on, Cyphers. Last 25 bucks. Show him the card. We had a fun night here at the bike last night.
He did calls.
Yeah, he calls. I don't think you can call that away for 21 bucks.
Swing? 3.
Interesting night. After Live the Bike, actually, you and I were playing, and I was actually watching West Hollywood Henry, WeHo Henry, as we like to call him, who will be on the show tomorrow night.
Why do you want to see both
He and
hands?
Mike played a freeze out, $4,000 a piece, heads up freeze out, and Corporation Mike took it down. Real interesting there. So Mike took $4,000 from WeHo Henry. And then you and I were in a game, actually, with a real live game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I mean, the action was just great. I mean, I got my ass beat last night. It was a terrible night for me.
And it's funny. I'm going to do this one more time. Say it one more time, and I'm going to put it to rest. Do not PM us about the game that day, because we will not be able to get to it because we are out doing other things on the floor. Thank you for the thoughts, Chicken Tender.
Well, it's one of those
Again,
things.
Call the bike.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to play in that night's show, you really should get here by 4, 4:30, 5 the latest. And there's no way we can PM you back and you can get here in time.
We pretty much do have the schedules. You know, if you're going to deviate from the schedule, we usually announce a couple days before. Like when we had Barry Woods' home game here, it was a week ago. We did limit on Tuesday.
I gotta tell you, I love Barry Woods, but his home game is quickly losing its allure.
50.
I much prefer watching Barry Woods tangle it up with Kenneth James and Corporation Mike.
Grinder.
Yeah, and the grinder, than with a bunch of his buddies.
400 behind.
He-Man here, he's 400 behind. He's going to raise from the cutoff with ace 10, and he's going to take it.
You have one blue check.
Button's going to move over here to seat 6.
You did it, man. Congratulations.
Again, we're playing 300 to 500 no limit hold'em. $300 min buy-in, 500 max. You can bring your stack up to 500 at any time. Really, a real good. If you don't like to play inherently short stack in a 200 game, but you don't really want to play an uncapped game, Dave, this is the game for you. Ace Queen of clubs here for George. He just limps in. Oh, he's in the straddle spot. He's in the straddle spot here.
Where is it?
60.
And He-Man is going to raise here from mid-position with King Queen. Again, it's a straddled pot. He's going to make it 60.
You're the only one I won't call him.
And Adam is going to call a 10-3 of clubs. Now, George has higher clubs in the straddle spot. Cy is going to call with an ace-jack here from the big blind. And yes, ace-jack from the big blind. Let's see what George does here.
And sometimes you can straddle in a game just to kind of get the action going. Suddenly the pot gets a little bigger, and sometimes when the pot gets bigger, players make mistakes.
And George is going to re-raise here. This is like something that you might do with ace-king. Ace-queen suited, a little bit borderline, but it's a pretty good spot here for this.
I was going to say, well, George plays the bigger game, so he's definitely comfortable with the money here. He has no problem pushing with ace-queen suited. Figures, hey, why not?
He makes it 200 more. The pot is 400 now, 200 to call. And He-Man's going to call with king-queen off. Wow.
And it's an easy laydown for Adam.
And He-Man has now committed over 60 to 70% of his stack here with king-queen off. And Adam calls.
Yeah, and that's obviously a mistake by Adam. Now, in a bigger game, you can call this because of the implied odds.
And this is such an easy laydown now for Cy. I mean, he's looking low. I mean, there's almost, Dave, there's like 1,000 in the pot here, but ace-jack just does not play multi.
See, and once Cy lays it down, Adam's call becomes even worse.
Right. Here we go, like 900 to the flop 3 ways. Well, there's the ace.
Wow, and you wonder if Cy would have probably doubled George up there.
George is just going to push here. He's going to push.
And He-Man's going to get away from it, and you imagine Adam's going to get away from it as well.
Sometimes those paint cards can look pretty, but king, queen. I mean, okay, you raise it, now you get re-raised, and it's just... Yeah. But maybe he may have been thinking I'm playing the player in George.
Then move all in.
Yeah, in that case, move all in with the stack sizes like that,
What
right?
do you do now?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy could have king-jack. Who the hell knows what he has? I mean, he happens to have an ace here. We see that. But, you know, if you're playing the player and you think, if you're going to commit 70% of your chips to king-queen, I'm going to commit them all. I got to tell you, though, I'd probably just lay it down. King-queen is not a hand I want to go to war with.
think what He-Man's trying to figure out is if this guy has a pocket pair below queen. I mean, the pot is about, if he's got 150 left, the pot's 1150, 150 for him to call. He's getting almost, and that's what he's asking. He's getting almost 7 or 8 to 1. If George doesn't have an ace, he's got a pair below queens.
If he's got jacks or tens, okay.
And you call here because he's getting about 7 or 8 to 1 with 2 cards to come.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, he's in such a bad shape because he would be running kings here.
You put yourself in a bad spot here, and He-Man lays it down. Easy laydown for Adam there, obviously, with 10. River would have turned, would have been a 4. And obviously no help for King Queen.
See, there you go.
So George is making a little bit of a comeback here.
I wish I could actually have that number. Wouldn't it be cool if the actual phone number was 867-509?
You know, the funny thing is, I heard, I saw like one of these VH1 deals, one of those, remember in the 80s type thing?
Right.
And they were talking about how many numbers actually were that number, and what kind of phone calls they got throughout the 80s in whatever area codes.
Not Wednesday.
Because it's not like a 555 number. It's probably a real number. Yeah.
Raise it.
Oh, man.
40.
Got a raise here to 40.
And finally, George wins a hand. That's a pretty good pot, too.
Yeah, Adam's got 10-5 offsuit. He makes it 40 to go. And he's going to take it down there, James, without a flop. One of the few times we haven't seen a flop here tonight.
Straddle.
And here we go with another straddle. Again, you can look at liveatthebike.com and
it's an interesting straddle. It's a straddle from Zach in seat 2. I mean, one of the tightest players in the game.
Yeah.
And he's straddling here. I mean, I guess there's some value if you think, hey, you know what? If I happen to pick up a big hand and everybody else limps in, hey, can I take it down? Or maybe he can use his image and steal if like 6 limpers go in there. Who knows?
Okay, I know.
Straddle?
Yeah.
And Adam's just going to limp here. And this might get limped all the way around. You wonder, is Zach going to make a play? He's got like 9 deuce, I want to say, or 10 deuce.
Run it.
10 deuce he's got, and he's just going to run it. No, 9 deuce, sorry.
8-6-3 here, Rainbow. 7-8 over there for Guy.
How about 7-9 for size? Open-ended with a backdoor spades.
But George actually has the best hand here with Jack 8. He comes out and bets 50 on this 8-eye board. And Adam quickly calls with just overcard.
All in.
And now it looks like Guy here has moved all in with the draw.
80 more.
Now this is the question of Sai here. Actually, no, Guy moved all in with an 8.
You're right, he did.
And Sai is going to call also now, figuring maybe I'm getting 2 to 1.
It was all in for 130. He calls on the button now.
Now this would be a clear case where you would not raise. You don't want to get George out. You need George in.
And George can't continue to push. He might even fold the hand here with Jack 8. I think you would fold with Jack 8. I mean, my God, what can you beat here?
And if he folds, actually, Sai's got a lot of outs. I mean, Sai can catch a 5,
and
a
George
10,
does fold,
or a 9.
And Adam calls with overcards.
Oh wow!
And this pot is well over 500. Now the funny thing here for Sai, you might get some free cards on the side. The turn's a 4. Adam checks, and I think Sai takes a card here, right? It's a dry
definitely.
side pot.
100.
He's going to bet 100. I really don't understand the point of that bet.
He just protected Guy's hand.
And the river's a queen, and Adam would have won it, but he protected Guy's hand.
Yeah, I'm just bewildered. I have no idea why you would bet, why you would possibly bet 7-9 there.
Small blind, big blind.
What do you possibly think that you're? I mean, what can you beat? You can't beat anything. There's no way you're going to win the main pot unless you hit your straight or your 9.
Wow.
Yeah, I just don't understand the play.
Putton's going to move over here to seat 9.
Yeah, I don't understand the play there.
Yeah.
Now sometimes if you have Ace King there, you can actually bet it and try to get somebody off with a small pair, hoping the other player has 9-7. But if you have 9-7 there, there's really nothing you can beat. I mean, there's no value whatsoever to betting there with a dry side pot.
You get a raise here by Sai here with an ace jack here on the cutoff.
Yeah, he's raised it up. Action is over to JR. JR's not going to call. He-Man's not going to call. Adam is going to call.
Yeah.
And we're heads up here with the 2 big stacks.
2 big stacks. Adam with the Queen 8 offsuit. King 9-7 with a couple of clubs. Adam checks, and Cy takes a card. He checks right behind Adam. Turns an ace.
100.
Wow, I don't understand the bet here, but well, he bets 100. Maybe he might think that maybe would Cy have a lower pocket pair, and he was just going to shut down. I mean, Cy immediately calls, and the river's a 9.
And Adam's got nothing.
And now Adam's going to bet big though. He's going to bet 400. Now, if you're Cy, you can't beat a real ace, and maybe Adam has a 9 here.
Yeah. Well, the question is now. This is where you really get put to the test. And Cy's going to call.
Cy does call.
But I was going to say this is sometimes where you get put to the test. You know, obviously Adam is comfortable throwing in $500 there. Is Cy comfortable putting that much money in there with just an ace?
And actually, I said you can't beat a real ace, but actually a real ace, unless it's ace-king, is going to chop with an ace-jack, because we got a double pair board. We got a paired board there with the king on board.
Any ace is going to chop it up. And is there any way, let me throw this at you, is there any way Adam actually, it would be a great bet if Adam had like ace-5, trying to get him off the chop. Figuring, okay, he doesn't have, if he had a king, he would have bet the flop, so he's got ace-queen or worse, which means we're going to chop it up anyway.
Interesting to see some white chips coming into the game, Dave.
60.
Yeah, and Cy is just, he's an absolute monster today. He's probably got close to $2,800 in front of him now.
He's got a raise here by Adam to 60. He's got ace-jack offsuit this hand.
Set up.
JR easily mucks the ace-9 in the big blind. Now, is He-Man going to come in with king-9? Suited? Nope.
Now, I know you still play this game once in a while you're waiting to get into the bigger games. And sometimes the action of this game is so good, you don't even want to get up.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you get a game like this where the lineup is good and you've got a bad 5-10 game, the only thing about this game is you actually need to put some time in the game.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, you're right. I will kind of hop into it and kind of wait. But it's really not that good of a game just to hop into for like 45 minutes because you got to build your stack up.
But let's say you got to the point where, let's say you had like Kim D's stack now, and you had $1,500 and you were in this game.
If I was in games where I thought the guys who were deep stack weren't necessarily comfortable, probably not.
Yeah, you'd probably stay there and see if you can really...
Why would I go over with the same money into a 5-10 game that's not necessarily even that good of a game, right?
Exactly. And in this game, the blinds are so small relative to stack size, you can really take advantage of play those mistakes.
Oh, absolutely.
You always say No Limit Hold'em is all about mistakes.
Got a straddle.
Button's going to move to seat 2.
Adam is under the gun, and I think he's going to straddle.
Now, who would you say that's probably been playing the best here at the table? Zach? Yeah, I guess it's kind of tough to say because he's so tight.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, when you say the best, you mean the tightest? Or...
Seems to grasp the most fundamentals of the game.
Okay, I see what you mean.
I mean, it's kind of a loaded question because we've only really been watching for an hour and a half.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of players have been showing some glimpses of real good poker.
Yeah.
I mean, Cy's been playing pretty well. I mean, he made a questionable call at the ace-3 and then got lucky. I like Kim D's game, but I think she's playing it a little too tight for pocket 9s and pocket queens.
Now, Adam straddled here, Dave. It got limped around to him. 4 limpers, and he's going to raise with ace-high to 100. And again, you know, if you're going to straddle in a full ring game and you never raise out of the straddle with hands like ace-high, there's really no point to straddling, right?
I mean, I like Adam's game. I like the fact that he plays it, he mixes it up. He's not afraid to throw some chips in there. Right. But obviously, he's making some calls that just don't make sense when you're looking at the chip stacks out there.
Button's going to move over here to seat 4. Limp around here. 4-way action. We got 3 people away from the table.
You're playing 6-handed right now, a little short-handed. That's going to favor a player like Adam.
Adam's going to bet 15 here.
Yeah, his aggressive style will actually work better, when you're playing short-handed. And T calls him now. Anytime T calls,
3 players.
I mean, T hasn't played a hand all day. What do you put him on? Minimum here, king?
And He-Man overcalls with the bottom pair. Garbage kicker, the turns a 3.
Well, look at that. No more garbage here, because now he's got 2 pair.
Well, Adam has 2 pair now.
Yeah. Look
He's
at
going to
that.
bet 65. But I was kind of commenting, like you said, T called. How do you overcall with bottom pair?
Oh, yeah, exactly. You're He-Man.
Okay. You know what? You know, T's played it pretty tight because you want to get involved. A lot of times, tight players are not going to get involved with these types of hands. They'll pick better spots.
That's one of the things, especially if you're playing short here. You can fire once, fire a second time. If T calls you twice, you've got to put him on a big king at least. Maybe 2 pair already.
There's nothing really He-Man can beat except a pure bluff. And he's going to fold.
And Adam takes it down.
The good old 2 pair 10s and 3s.
And you wonder if Adam hadn't caught a 3, would he bet? Probably still take it down, probably still play the same way. It was funny, I mean, shorthanded play. You and I actually started a shorthanded 5-10 game today, playing with Hollywood Russ, the 3 of us. And, you know, it quickly became 4, 5, and then 6-handed. But I love playing 3-4 ways. A lot of fun. You kind of got a cold deck there when you had ace-king and you ran it. You flopped an ace and you ran into somebody's set. I mean,
yeah, you called off like, what, 20% of his staff? Your raise in pocket 5,
right? Exactly. Then he hits the set.
45.
Yeah. And then he slow played it on you too, didn't he?
He did. I mean, at that point, I guess there's nothing wrong. But you got to realize that with his stack sizes, all he's doing is basically pricing you in because I'm not going to fold.
No,
if he raises,
you've got an ace. There's no way you're going to
stupid when he's short stacked to do that.
Exactly. Flop was like, what, ace 8-5 or something like that?
Yeah. Looks like Zach limped in, and Adam is raised on the button with deuce 7 offsuit. And He-Man has pulled the limp re-raise from the cutoff with ace deuce suited.
65 more. He's all in.
And now Adam is going to move all in to isolate He-Man with 7 deuce offsuit.
What is the value of that? You're isolating a guy who's all in. I don't understand the play. There's no fold equity here. I mean, and obviously, because He-Man's already all in. So you're basically calling it all in and then
Zach
committing.
is thinking about calling here. He hasn't even folded the hand. Remember, he won with King Queen before.
Well, you're basically what? You're basically calling He-Man's all in and then committing the rest of your chips.
But listen, I think the thing that Zach is thinking through his head is obviously there's a ton of money on the side. I don't care about He-Man. Well, Zach is going to get away from it.
You can't call it all in with King High, can you?
All right, clear.
You want to show him?
I mean, he's dominated.
Yeah.
He-Man's got a deuce. I mean, you figure your cards are alive here, and he's almost drawing
Oh,
dead
wow.
now.
King, Queen suited. What a flop that would have been. Turns a deuce.
And he is drawing dead now.
Yeah. River's an ace. Ah, He-Man fills up.
Maybe he knew something.
And actually, you know, can you imagine that beat? If King Queen had stuck his chips in there, look at that flop against Adam's 7 deuce, and then the offsuit deuce comes on the turn, Dave.
Actually, you look at that, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been unbelievable.
Wow.
That would have been a horrific beat.
I didn't get it till the turn.
Obviously drawing, too. I mean, he had the best hand already. A jack gives him a straight. King, queen, overcards, clubs. Man.
7 deuce, dude. I didn't get a pair, so I think
And that's the part of Adam's game I just don't understand. I'm not sure what. I have no understanding of why he would make that play.
Wow.
I think you can call her.
I didn't know I was going to get
5.
See, and you had a lot of respect for him, didn't you? You did.
Adam has King, Queen offsuit. He's going to make it 40 to go here from seat 5.
Well, I guess he took metagame. I mean, he's getting, not like he wasn't getting enough action before, but he's certainly going to get a lot of action now. Huh?
35 more?
Got a call here from T with Queen 10 suited, and T is dominated. And He-Man's going to come in with a Jack 10 here.
3 players.
Here we go, 3 ways. Ace 3-5. You know, if Adam bets here, he's probably just going to take it down. I mean, it's missed everybody. And he is going to continuation bet.
40.
Kind of weak, though. He bets 40, but I think that might do it.
Yeah. I'm not sure if these players are actually sensing that or not. But although He-Man does say 40, what kind of bet is that? And if you think a guy is weak here, you can't just call with Jack 10. You got to raise him.
2 players.
Wow, and he made the call. The turn's an ace, but King High's good here.
And that's the problem. If you think your opponent is weak, you can't call him with Jack High.
And Adam bets 40 again.
He might be behind him.
And I'm just not sure what He-Man's thinking here. Okay. He-Man didn't even have a heart in his hands.
We got an emailer from Tony D. He says, hey guys, I was thinking back to a couple weeks ago when you guys hid the buttons cards. Why didn't you do that for the big Wednesday game? And I think what we were thinking, thanks for the email, Tony D, was we were going to wait until we added that Joker character to our card software, right, to do that, because it was a little bit confusing.
I didn't think I would.
Mo was also out of town. I think we should probably wait till Mo was back to do that.
You didn't have a pair, then I had to keep. Right?
It was a little bit confusing because you didn't know who was in the hand when we were doing the buttons hand in line.
Exactly.
Straddle.
Make it
80.
Clear my card percent. See if you're gonna have
$80 raise here by Adam with ace queen suited.
$800 and there was 7 deuce.
Now He-Man's got a 9-10 of hearts. He doesn't have enough money to make this call, Dave.
He's tossing the table.
And we welcome Kim D back to the table. She's probably going to take her big blind, and she does. And Zach is going to straddle.
Another straddle.
Not sure what the value of straddling is for Zach here. He doesn't seem like the type of player who will raise it up unless he gets a real premium hand. And why put more money in the pot out of position?
Well, yeah, like right now he's got pocket deuces. Now you see real aggressive players might raise this out of the straddle if it gets limped around.
Well, real aggressive players, they'll raise it 1 out of 4 or 5 times.
Right.
And it kind of keeps people off edge. Oftentimes you'll see people limping in with big hands thinking you might raise, and that's the time you don't raise. Who knows?
Adam is going to raise here to 40. He's got king 8 suited. Now Cy has got ace 8 on the button, off suit. Now he's not going to get involved.
Yeah, you don't want to get involved with that.
No.
And I assume that Zach here is probably going to call.
Well, I don't know how much money he's got behind. He's only got about...
He's got 500, right?
Does he have that much?
But again, you know, it puts him in a tough spot. I guess he's just going to hope to hit a set, or else it's check fold, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Queen 7-5 here. Well,
He's got the best hand, but how does he know that?
$50 bet here by Adam, and a quick call here by Zach. Wow. Turns a 4. He's still good. Check, check on the turn, and the river's a 3, and deuces are good, but how do you ever know? And now it gets checked over to Adam, and he bets 150 here on the river.
And all you can beat is a bluff. I mean, that's all you can beat.
I mean, if Adam had backed into a pair, the only thing that we talk about, Dave, sometimes is if he had a 6, he would bet it, but would he really bet any other pair? Would he bet like a pair of 4s? Yeah, and Zach folds. And Adam shows him the bluff.
Yep. And you wonder, oftentimes players don't think that through. They just go, oh, I can't beat anything. I can only... And then you start thinking of what would he bet here.
And of course, and you always say, you know, against an aggressive player that's raising many, many hands, we usually talk about the 10 times rule. But if you're in there with pocket deuces from up front against an aggressive player who's probably not raising with a premium hand, I'd like to say 20 or 30 times, because if you hit your set, it's got to hit Adam in a big way.
Yeah,
the flop's got to almost come up king 8 deuce or king deuce, right, to win.
I mean, you've got to realize, right, I mean, it really has to come out at king 8 deuce for you to make any money. You're right. Because the second you show any strength, he's going to throw away king high. Interesting email here from Michael. I'm not sure if he's telling the truth or not. He says, hey, Bart, someone on 2+2 says that the guy that Dave got in a fight with has his own blog.
And he already posted up his side of the story.
I'm actually curious where that blog is, or if he's just, you know, obviously pulling our chain.
Are you going to write that blog now?
I told you I am.
Nice flop here for Zach. Zach checked this flop. He's got top pair and a club draw. He gets checked around. The turn's a 4.
You're worse than my mother. Nag, nag, nag.
Zach still has the best hand, and he checked it again. He's checked it again. And now Cy's going to bet with an open-ended straight draw. Bets 55, and if you get your queen 8 here, you get top pair and a flush draw. But now you've got 4 cards out there. You might not have the best hand with queen 8 here. And he just check calls. Now Cy could catch a king here.
Or an ace or a 6.
And Adam's in there with 8 deuce, and the river's the king. And look at this, Cy makes 2 pair.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, actually.
And look at this,
third club.
Zach checked the flush from up front, and Cy checked behind with the king. King rag, he checked behind, and Zach, boy, he played that hand slow on every street, never got any money in there, checked on the flop, check call on the turn and did not bet the river when he got there, and it just went check, check all the way around.
I got to tell you, I mean, I just do not understand why people don't want to put money in the pot. I mean, you've got a monster, Queen 8 of clubs there. You check, check, check. He never voluntarily put money in the pot.
How do you not bet your flush when an overcard completes your flush on the river? You see what I mean? Because, you know, someone with the queen's probably going to check it down, right?
Right. I mean, you really expect somebody to bet that?
I mean, maybe if the ace of clubs comes out, you might think, oh, I might get a guy with a 5 to bet, but, you know, because it's a wheel. Sai's got aces, and he's going to raise.
Yeah, but people see the clubs. They see the flush draw. They're not blind.
I don't understand that one by Zach at all. $75 raise here by Sai. Well, it's a straddled pot by C4. And you know what? You know, Adam is, I like the value. This is a nice value raise because Adam's in there with Jack 3 of hearts, and he's going to call. I almost got to think that when Adam limps in there, he's going to call with any 2 cards. I raise it up big. I get it heads up with them. Yeah. And now I got aces against Jack 3.
And the problem is Adam is not deep enough now. Is Adam going to get in trouble here with 2 pair?
125.
Sai's going to bet 125, and Adam makes a quick call.
And Adam's in really bad shape here because 2 pair is not good for him. A Jack is worthless.
$400 pot, the turn's an ace, and now Sai fills up.
Yeah, and Adam is drawing dead. And I think you check this if you're Sai.
With an aggressive player like Adam, you might check it.
I think you definitely check this, induce the bluff on the river.
And he does. He checks. And the river's a queen.
And sure enough, watch this.
Yep. I love the check on the turn. We usually talk about, you know, adding money, but if you get an aggressive player like Adam or Mike, I like that check on the turn.
Exactly. There are very few times that you and I advocate slow playing, setting up a play. This is one of them. And what's nice about it is you're slow playing a specific player, but the entire table gets to see you do it. So they think that you're capable of doing it.
And he gets a $250 bet here by Adam.
I mean, you would never slow play, say, a guy named Zach. But now Zach sees you slow playing, so it's in his head.
It's about a $700 pot, $250 to call. Now, I assume that Adam is not going to call. There's nothing he can beat with this raise, obviously.
All in.
Yes, I moved
He
all
moves
in.
all in. I think he's hoping the guy has 5.
I love the play. I like the bet. I like the overbet here. And Adam throws it away. A great check on the turn to induce the bluff.
Thank you, sir.
Oftentimes, I will advertise something, a play, that I will make. Let's say I make a play versus you, Bart, that I would never make versus anybody else.
Right.
But I know everybody else can see that play now. And Mo actually talked about it. He goes, oftentimes I'll go home. He actually has a notebook where he'll keep track of who he bluffed. Because he doesn't want to bluff that player again. But what he'll do is he'll bluff a different player and make sure that player sees it again. And he'll write it down in his book how many times he bluffed somebody, and then how many times that person sees him bluffing somebody else.
Pocket queens for you?
Little things that can help your game.
Got an email here from Lead. If you're Adam, why keep betting in his side? Because he's just not been able to push Sai off of his hand so far. How many times do you keep pushing against a player who keeps calling you down on your bluffs?
Yeah, it's a great email, and he's right on there. You've got to realize what your table image is, and right now Adam's table image is that he's a gambler, he's a bluffer, you know, he's a crazy maniac player type guy. And those are, you know, you really got to kind of change gears here and stop bluffing and be betting for value.
It was a straddled pot. It's limped around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways.
Yeah, ace-4 in there for He-Man. He's got the best hand.
Guy is
Actually, I'm sorry, Sai's got 2 pairs.
Well, Guy is actually going to come out and bet 25 here with a gut shot. And I think it's time for Sai to raise here with bottom 2 pair, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. Bottom 2 pairs, they're vulnerable.
And he makes it 125.
Now, is He-Man going to go broke on this?
Come on, ace-4 is in the muck like it's quick. Quickly in the muck, yeah.
And it does, okay. Nice fold by He-Man.
Now, it's interesting. I actually won a hand last night with a Jack-10 double gut. If that flop comes out ace-queen-8, Jack-10 is a double gut. I actually had a Jack-10 double gut with King-9-7 flop. Yeah. Jack-10 double gut. Mike had bet in on the flop, Corporation Mike, with King-Rag. He raised it. He bet the flop. He hit top pair. Alan called him with middle pair, or bottom pair 7. I called. The turn brought a pair. It paired the 7. Mike bet again. Alan called. He had trick 7s. He called, and I called, and the river brought me the 8. Mike bets again, Alan calls, and I raise, and Alan, of course, pays me off.
For trip 7.
And Mike says it out up, but when Mike folds his hand, he's like, oh, Bart got there with the double gun. And it was almost like, shut up, Mike.
Yeah.
You know?
And Alan still paid you off.
Right. Let's take a look at a chip count here.
Look at Cy. Oh, my. He's on fire. I mean, this is unheard of. I mean, we're talking an hour and a half of 5-5 blinds, and he is up over $2,000. Man. And there it is, $2,500 in a 5-5 blind game. And man, I tell you, and Adam is now down 1,600. Look at the swings this guy is having.
5 ace, ace 7, 3 diamonds on board. Nobody has an ace. And He-Man is going to push here. He's got
2 pair, Jack 5. And Adam's thinking about it. Adams
has the best hand here with a pair of 7s. He's got 6, 7 of clubs.
Look at that. Wait, Adam asked him, he goes, do you have an ace? And He-Man says no. He goes, do you have a flush? He goes, no.
Adam actually has 6, 7 here. It doesn't matter. It wouldn't make any difference because the 2 pair wouldn't play.
Right, exactly. It's kind of funny, though.
He-Man's pushing with a flush draw as well.
Adam's asking him what he has, and He-Man's telling him, I don't have an ace. I don't have a flush.
Right.
He-Man's got a lot of outs, obviously.
Can I see one of your cards for $10? What?
It was funny. I was actually. He's trying to buy a card for $10.
Of course they will. It's a sale. Business transaction. 165.
I actually did that with Adam. We were playing the other day, and I sold him one of my cards in a situation like this. I sold him one of my cards.
I saw that.
And he still didn't call me.
It was funny because I think you had a hand where I think both the cards were the same.
I got a pair of 5.
Or even if they weren't the same, you showed one that's not going to make that much of a difference. It's kind of like the 50-50 on Let's Be a Million. What is it? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You know, it never eliminates one of the answers you were going to say.
Not. I mean, it was very clear. I either had a set of 7s, a set of 6s, or 2 pair.
Adam calls. He makes the call. And the river's a 3, and Adam's going to win it here. He's going to win it.
Well, He-Man told him what he had. He said, I don't have an ace. I don't have a flush.
Funny post here on 2+2 by Surfing Illini. He says, the funny thing is that Adam plays just like Tuckman in the 300 to 500 game.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now, I'll splash around chips in this game, but I'd like to say that I don't call off my money with like a 7 high. Right. I actually have had a couple of good showings in this game as well.
I mean, you could have easily had the ace and checked and then the flushes and you got to push in. I just wasn't sure.
Nice email here from William Kim. It says, Tuckman and Bart, big fan of the show. You guys were born to do this. Now, I got to tell you, I love the job. I hope I was born to do more than this, but thank you.
4 players.
4-way action limped around here. 8-9 deuce with a couple clubs.
Best hand to He-Man, huh?
60.
Well, not anymore. Uh-oh.
He's at best 60.
Turn and burn before action was complete. And what'll happen is, just so you know, we'll complete the action.
I don't think anybody's going to call.
Well, nobody's going to call.
Yeah.
If the dealer makes a mistake and a turn and burn before the action is complete, what they'll do is they'll complete the action.
Right.
And in this case, nobody's going to call. And then what will happen is they will actually burn and then throw out what would be the river.
Right.
Then they will take the cards and take in that card, in this case with Queen, put it back in the deck, shuffle it, and then without a burn, put out the actual river.
And that actually gives George a little bit of an advantage. I'm surprised they don't just shuffle that card back in and burn a turn and go with a turn, because if George was going to call with overcards there with King Queen, it's that much less likely that a turn card is going to bring a pair. Well, he knows one of the queens are dead.
Exactly. What they want to do is they want to actually have the real river. What would have been the river?
Well, why don't they just pull the river out, put it on the side, and then shuffle it back in? I mean, they could do that, too.
I guess you could.
But that's always been the rule, obviously.
Right.
60.
$60 raise here by C4. He's playing money behind. He doesn't have chips yet.
And He-Man's got ace 10. I don't think anybody's going to call this, are they? Well, Adam calls.
He has 400 behind, and Adam calls with Queen 4 suited here.
William Kim also says, hey, I also read the entire Tuckman Under the Gun journal. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm glad you like it.
Where's Bart's Under the Gun?
And he wants to know if you guys play, if we ever play in the smaller daytime tournaments.
Jack 10-6 here with a couple of hearts. Well, He-Man's out flopped, Adam.
200.
He bets 200 and he's going to take it down.
Yeah, take it down. And he wanted to know, do we play, obviously, what are our opinions, and do we play cash versus tournament? Now, both Bart and I both play more cash games than tournament. I would say both of us probably play 80% cash or 90% cash, more like 5-10% tournaments. But Bart did have a really good score a couple of weeks ago over on PokerStars.
Right, I try to play, if I'm around, I'll try to play Sunday Night Force event on Full Tilt or the Omaha event on Stars. I'm going to tell you, I mean, when you're trying to practice like David and I are for the World Series, this guy brought up the Nooners. Nooner tournaments like that, it's just a crapshoot. Excuse me, Ronnie, for saying that, but there's no real practical value to enter tournaments that are, $15 buy-ins with multi-rebuys with a, 20-minute rounds.
The first couple of levels you can play poker, but after like, an hour and a half into it, you're pretty much pushing all in or just calling all in.
This is the last one, right? And then I'm straight, right? When I handle it once.
$60 raise here.
I was going to say, I was actually really excited. I'm not excited. My wife is actually going to New York this weekend. And what do we got? Oh, King, Queen, Deuce 7.
But He-Man raised with King, Queen, and Adam called him with Deuce 7, and he outflopped him. He-Man checks and Adam bets 100. And He-Man calls with overcards.
He actually said, I'll donate.
Turns a 5.
He actually says, I'll donate, and now Adam moves all in.
Yep.
With the best hand. I mean, He-Man's in bad shape.
320 here. Boy, Adam has really blown off most of his stack, hasn't he? Actually, I think he's got more than that. He's got more than 320, maybe 720, something like that.
380.
Oh, 380, Dave.
Yeah, he went from down 2,000 to about even, and now he's down 1,600, but it looks like he's going to win this pot. Anyway, I was going to say, my wife is going to New York to watch her dad. Her dad is actually in a play in New York. So she's going to New York for the weekend, and I'm going to actually take the weekend an opportunity to play a lot of poker tournaments online. Start practicing for the World Series.
Get the wife out of the house for a while, start playing online?
Yeah, well, I mean, since I'm here so often, I want to use the opportunity. Obviously, when I'm not in the casino and my wife's home, I want to hang out with her. So, this weekend, I can fondle my gay dog and play poker.
Like I was telling you, I know that PokerStars does like some deep stack tournaments during the afternoon on the weekends. Might be fun.
It's funny, I haven't played online since Empire left Party Poker.
Yeah, he used to play a little stud high-low.
Yeah.
When he used to get raked back, but once that, what was that, back in October? They call that the Black October date happened, and you haven't played.
I haven't played since then. I took all my money out of it online, and I just recently, just like 3 days ago, I put money in PokerStars and Party Poker, and we'll see. I'll play a couple of tournaments.
And you're not going to give your names up. PokerStars and Party Poker. If you're only going to play tournaments.
Yes, I can. I'll think about it tonight.
I don't want to pressure you. Usually, sometimes you can find me on Absolute, live at Bike Bart, Full Tilt, live at Bike Bart, PokerStars, live BK Bart.
See, this way I can, if I'm playing in a tournament, I can plug live at the bike.
Right.
Without it looking like it's me.
5 players.
5-way action here. Limped around. 7-4-6. Well, Sai's got top and bottom here with 7-4
He has
diamonds.
flopped 2 pairs so many times tonight.
But look at this 6-4 over for He-Man. He's got bottom 2. Now, Sai checked it from up front, probably going for a check raise. He-Man flopped bottom 2. Adam is called with an open-ended straight draw, and I think it's time for Sai to check raise big here.
And Adam's got to realize with that much heat there, he's open-ended with 2 spades out there.
Yeah.
How can you possibly call this?
I think the money's going in here. The money might all go in. I think that Sai might check raise. He might push, and I think Adam might call.
Oh, I think Adam's definitely going to call when he's getting 2-1. And he's actually not in that bad shape.
Because nobody has spades.
Right. Exactly.
And is he going to check raise here? Just a call here. Wow. That's shocking.
No moves today, guys.
Here we go to the turn. Turns a deuce.
Well, that's somewhat a safe card there.
Now he's going to bet? No, he checks.
Wow, how do you check that?
I don't understand.
I mean, I guess you can be behind 7-6. But you got to be aware of 7-6, right?
He-Man moves all in. If Sai check raised that flop, I think he gets He-Man and Adam's money there.
And it's an easy laydown for Adam now.
Yeah.
Now with only 1 card to go, he knows he can't call. And he's counting the pot out, but you look at the odds there, he's 17% to win the pot. The pot is definitely not laying him that much money, and it's an easy fold.
Sai calls.
Sai calls.
And the river's a 7.
Wow,
and he
that-
fills up.
And that card just kills He-Man's hit. Right.
I don't really know what Sai was doing there that hand. Didn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, look at that board.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing is, let's say He-Man's got spades, and Adam's got the 5 there. They both might take a free card.
Catch that, though.
Interesting post by Eastern Block over on 2+2 Days. It says he's not sure that Adam is actually cognizant of his table image, and I think that's a lot of players' problems. They don't realize how the other players at the table see them. It's really, really important in No Limit Hold'em to know what your image is, and know how the other players see you, and act accordingly. I know there are often times where I'm sitting in a game, and, you know, I'll be playing in some games where I know people think that I'm full of crap, that I'm just a gambler. And there are some games where people will actually think that I'm playing it kind of weak tight. And obviously I will change my game, you know, accordingly.
Get a raise here to 20 by Adam.
Maybe you just decide to place on that tab.
Anyway, back to the email by William Kim. I just want to say there, the cash versus 20, it's a completely different animal. I mean, they're completely different.
Six-way action here.
You know, both great in their own right.
Look at this tease flop the nut flush here.
He's not drawing. Guy is actually drawing live to the straight flush.
Yeah, I could catch the 9 of clubs.
And I'm looking at the board here. Nobody has the 9 of clubs, so.
Adam bets, what is it, 20? And he just calls, and everybody calls. There's a $20 bet there. And again, Guy can catch the 9 of clubs here for the straight flush. Here we go to the turn. Turn to king.
And Guy now is a pair with an open-ended.
Got shot.
Yeah,
straight flush draw.
Yeah. He's got an open-ended straight draw with the flush draw, obviously.
I can't believe that Adam continues to fire here. He bets 40. I mean, is that going to do anything, Dave?
Well, not going to do much. Well, Adam is now open-ended as well with a pair of 8.
And he is just trying to milk it. Yeah, he's going to call again, trying to get people to come in behind him.
And the action is over to Guy, and Guy is probably just going to call here. And Guy needs a 9 of clubs and only the 9 of clubs to win this pot. You can look at it, 2%. He's going to win this 98% of the time.
Here we go to the river. River's a deuce.
Check.
Adam checks.
checks, yeah.
Time for T to bet here. Dave, I want to say that the pot is about $350.
Now, T has not played a hand all day. Is there any way you call him with King Jack? Any way?
He bets 80. Well, the answer is yes. And there it is. Nut flush.
Yeah, T shows the nut flush there. I guess Jack 9 would be the absolute nuts, but in this case it's the nuts.
Email here from Terrence Riley says, top of the evening, guys. Run down there and slap at him in the head and tell him he's playing like a maniac on bad dope. Why don't these guys on the table slow, or why doesn't he know how to slow down? And why don't the guys pick better spots against him? Good point.
Yeah.
Button's going to move over here to George in seat 9.
I got to tell you, though, it makes for good TV and for good internet watching, though, so I'm not going to slap him in the head.
When's the last time we've seen Kim D play a hand? Huh.
Yeah. And, you know, I got to tell you, I mean, I liked her game early on, but she just doesn't play any hands. And unless she gets lucky enough to have aces when somebody else has kings, is she going to make any money?
Straddled pot here.
6 players.
6-way action, so it's a $60 pot. Again, Zach was the straddler. Jack 8-5 here. Wait, does anybody get a pair?
Doesn't look like it. Now, I want to say that Kim D has actually got she's got a gut shot straight draw.
JR actually's got bottom 2 pair here. He's got Jack 8-5 on the flop. He's got bottom 2 pair. Adam calls with a gut shot to the 7. Kim D is out of there. Turns a king, and we're heads up 5-8 against 4-6.
And JR really has played it real tight.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, we haven't seen him all night. You got to give this guy respect.
Yep.
You know, we point out, you know, the one thing about Kim D, I will say, you know, you don't have to play a lot of hands in No Limit Hold'em to win a lot of money. I just think there were a couple of opportunities that she kind of gave up with the pocket queens and the pocket nines. Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. You can check us out every Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. You can also check out our website, liveatthebike.com. Got a lot of cool features there, poker news, my blog, Under the Gun. We've got, as seen on Live at the Bike, a bunch of terminology.
Sign up for the archives, click on the on-demand banner.
Yeah, I mean, the archives are, how much are they now?
$14.95 a month gets you access to every show we've ever done in the past.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, Barry Greenstein, Greg Raymer, Kenneth James. I mean, everybody in poker has been here.
Five-way action limped around, size bluff, a flush draw. He's going to bet 25 in here with Jack 6 of diamonds, 8-3 deuce with 2 diamonds on board. I don't think anybody can call here, but Adam calls. Adam calls the gut shot wheel draw and backdoor nut diamond draw. Cy makes the flush, time to bet. And he checked it, and the river's a king. Well, maybe he's trying to get Adam to bluff into him again, but not this time.
75.
Bet 75. Now, that time might be a little bit different because Adam doesn't have that much money left, Dave. And the problem is, if you're Cy, if a diamond comes out in the river and Adam bets, are you going to pay him off?
Yeah. It's also a question of if Cy bets the turn there, Adam clearly calls it. Adam might even make a move on you with the ace of diamonds. But now Adam can't do anything.
And I think that Adam's thinking, well, this guy checked the turn. Now he's betting the river. Is there anything I can represent here? Now, again, I like the move that Cy put on when Adam was deeper, when he filled up on the turn with aces.
Well, he had the absolute nuts. He couldn't lose the hand.
Here, I think it's a little stranger because Adam is short. 250. And Adam's going to check raise him. I don't know. You know what? And at this point, if I'm Cy, I just move. If Adam's got 200 left, I just move it in, Dave.
I got to tell you, I just call.
Think so?
I just call.
He calls.
Never went 1 o'clock.
I'll just throw that at you. I mean, is there any value to raising there? What is he going to call you with?
2 pair, possibly. Kings up.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. He might have bet the river. Well, you look at it, though, in the turn, you're right. You know, Cy checked the turn. Probably Adam want to bet with 2 pair on the river. The action goes so quick sometimes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's obvious. I'm a big fan of value raising there. I'm just thinking, though, there's a good chance this guy's got absolutely nothing. And if he happens to have a higher flush, do I really want to pay him off more? But then again, you wonder, though, if Adam doesn't have a lot of money and he just has 2 pair, he might pay him off. You're right.
35.
And Adam's going to raise here to 35. He's got King Jack of spades.
And it's always funny how this no-limit game cashes out. It's always weird. You know, sometimes I go home and I tell my wife, I go, yeah, I played for a couple hours and I won this much money. She goes, wow, great night. And the next night I'd be like, I come home and I won $50. And she'd be like, how can you do it one night, not the other night? And I go, it's the luck of the draw. Sometimes you get big hands versus people that pay you off.
Look at this. Zach called the Queen Jack of clubs. He's got a gut shot club draw.
100.
And Adam raised with King Jack, and he checked it on the flop. And I think he's going for the check raise, but I think Zach's hand's big enough where he's probably going to call. Now look at this. JR's got King 10. Now Zach is betting from the button. Is JR really going to get involved here with King 10 of hearts? I think Adam's going to check raise here, and I think Zach is probably going to call.
Yeah, I think JR's got to realize who's betting. This is Zach betting. Zach hasn't played many hands, and JR's going to give him respect.
Let's see what Adam does here. I think it's going to go check raise call, Dave.
And Adam's going to be a small favorite here. Zach's only got 12 outs. He needs a 10.
There it is.
And we see one of the 10s dead or a club.
It's only 100 more. It's an easy call here. It's a pure math problem.
Pretty much a coin flip here.
I was only afraid of King.
And Zach calls. Here we go to the turn. Turns an 8. And the river is an ace, and he doesn't make it, Dave.
Nope. Yeah, Adam wins the hand there. Take it down.
Oh, you got a flush draw, huh?
Flush draw and a straight draw. Did not get there.
And I only bring up that story about playing. Some nights you get lucky, some nights you don't. You've got to be patient and disciplined in no limit hold'em because some nights are just your night. Some nights are the nights where you get a donkey to just give you money. There have been a couple times where I know I've jumped in Bart's game, and he'll actually kind of wink at me and say, "Hey, the guy in seat 3, he's the live one." I go, "Okay."
Smelled like you had a king.
And the guy basically gives me $2,500, and the guy leaves, and the whole table kind of looks at me and goes, "Oh, thanks a lot, Dave. You took the only guy. You killed the game." And some nights, those are your nights. And you have to realize that there are some nights where you've got to be content with just taking a couple small pots.
Ace Jack of diamonds here for seat 4.
All in.
And we got a $20 raise here by Guy, and seat number 4, He-Man, is going to move all in here out of the small blind.
And that's not, I actually don't mind that play at all. He's got a decent hand. He only had $60 left.
Zach called in between, so there's a little dead money in there.
Exactly. I mean, that's the point.
No, I'm busting it, man. Favorite player at the table.
No. You said you're allowed to play with that.
Three-way action here.
You playing with Conway?
About $180 pot.
Yeah, but 2 players called on the side here. Queen 7 deuce. Well,
Zach called 8-9.
neither player have a hand, so it's probably going to go check on the side. It does. Turns a queen.
You wonder if Zach was steaming a little bit there.
Yeah, I don't
calling
know.
$60 with 8-9 offsuit.
Calling all in.
I'm not
I mean, he had no money, and Ace-Jack is still good here.
Yep, and he has a flush draw.
And he's going to win
He's
this.
going to win it with Ace-Jack. And Ace-Jack is going to play over the Ace-9.
Yeah. Both players have 3 queens, ace, and obviously He-Man's Jack is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at Zach there.
Yeah, I
Plays
don't
solid
understand
poker for, he plays pretty solid. I mean, for the first hour and a half of the show. And then he calls up the rest of his money with 8-9. I just don't understand the play.
I mean, I think I might have put a hex on him when I said, boy, who do you think the most, kind of advanced player is? Once I said that, now he's like, calling all in on the side with 8-9 offsuit when he's got about 300 left.
We also saw him checking his flush
Yeah.
with Queen 8 there, which didn't make much sense either. This was a club flush before. I hate to belabor the point, but I want to bring this up one more time in terms of, some nights obviously are your night, some nights are not your night. And oftentimes, I know for myself, and I bet for a lot of our viewers and a lot of people that are watching the show, sometimes if you have a really, really good night, you almost start expecting, and you take it for granted, and you expect the next night to be just as good, and the next week just to be just as good. And let's say you win, a really good amount in one night, and the next night's not as good, you start pushing too much, trying to force things. And in Hold'em, just like life, you kind of have to let it come to you.
Thanks, Dad.
And there you go.
Five-way action limped around.
Bart's my mom, and he's my dad. What's that?
Jack 10-6 here. Look at Zach. He's got a gut shot, straight draw, and a flush draw.
Oh, God, one of these days.
Now, Guy has come out at 30 with King 8 as a total bluff, and Zach is called. So no pair against no pair, but no pair with a draw is a favorite. Heads up, the turn's a 4. And actually, Guy has got Jack 4.
Yeah, and Zach is now not a favorite anymore. He's got a gut shot right with the diamonds.
Well, Guy makes 2 pair on the turn and a call. And now, can't get the 4 diamonds because Guy has in his hand. The river's a king.
Yeah.
Zach makes it. And Guy moves all in, and I'm sure that Zach is probably going to call now.
They're a pretty easy call, obviously, with the second nut flush draw. Yeah, second nuts, exactly.
That's going to be good. Second nut together, got 2 pair.
Yep. There it is.
Take it down, Zach.
Can't miss the draw every time.
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Follow a thread, Starling Internet, over at 2plus2.com, spelled out. Button's going to move over here to Adam in seat 5. Boy, is he even on a roller coaster tonight.
Oh, man. The way he plays, I mean, you got to expect it, right?
Let's take a look at a chip count here. Wow, 8,000 on the table. Sai with 3,700, Dave. Are you kidding me?
That's insane. In 2 hours.
Let's take a look at the differences now.
$3,300. I mean, the entire table is pretty much down except for him and Kim.
Yep.
And Kim hasn't played a hand in about an hour and a half.
You're telling me I'm catching cards?
Adam
Kim's seen a couple of flops.
That's it. Adam raises here from the button with ace king. Yeah. Nobody sees the flop. And again, like you said, okay, you're going to play the 3 to 5 and you play tight. If Kim wants to move up, she has to open her game up a little bit. It's just.
I mean, I will say, I mean, she's probably obviously really happy. She's doubled her money, actually more. Right. She's tripled her money. It's a nice win for her. And at a lineup like this, she can actually play it the way she's playing and still do really, really well. Now, if she starts playing against the more advanced players, a really advanced player is not going to give her any action.
Limp here on the button. Sai is going to raise it up here out of the small blind of 40 with 9-7 of clubs with all those chips in front of him. See if we can get a zoom in there on Sai's chips. You can see the yellow chips are $5 chips. And look at that big stack of whites there.
That's insane.
Wow.
I mean, that's a lot of money for a 5-10 game.
What's that, about 2,500 in whites and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1,200 in yellows.
3,700.
Yeah.
I mean, you could easily buy in. He could actually parlay this 500 into tomorrow night's game if he wanted to.
Yeah, you could buy in for like 4,000 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Take a shot. Now, he's going to limp in, Dave, on the button with 8 deuce offsuit. I never quite understand that, no matter how deep you're.
Yeah, not much value to that. Now, Kim D here, she's open-ended with the 5-3, and she's going to put a little bet in there. I really like the bet. Her image has got to be real tight, real solid at this table.
Wow, and Sai calls here with deuce 8.
And I got to tell you, I just don't understand the call here by Sai.
Turns a 5.
And now Kim's got a pair, and she's ahead.
And now she bets.
She's going to bet, and Sai's going to throw it away. I mean, Sai's just taking one off there with 8 deuce. I just don't understand, especially against her.
I don't know. I don't understand the limp on the button with 8 deuce.
Yeah, what exactly are you looking to hit?
I mean, the other thing, too, you got to realize is that if you ever build your stack up, it's not a tournament. Yeah, you're at an advantage in this game, but it's not like, oh, I raised to 50. Now another guy moves all in for 400 on top of me. Oh, I got pocket nines. I think I have a race, so I'll call. Now, it doesn't quite work that way in a cash game like it might in a tournament.
Right.
You know, where you can take those risks and hope the guy has, ace king.
I mean, you can take the risks, but you just got to realize the blinds are not escalating.
Right.
There's no urgent, it's not urgent to accumulate chips.
8 players.
If you're patient, you can wait as long as you want.
8-way action here, limped around, jack 5 deuce with a couple of diamonds.
Nut flush draw for
He-Man.
He-Man there, yeah.
Yep. He's going to come out and bet.
That's 50.
That's 50. Doesn't look like anybody's got a jack here.
Yeah, that should get it done. I mean, it is.
No one has a pair, right?
Yeah, nobody's going to call this. And George has really quieted down. I mean, George was splashing around early.
Yeah, and he really quieted it down.
But then he doubled up, actually tripled up, and that kind of settled him down a little bit. Interesting email here from Dan. He wants to know if we're ever going to have an Omaha high-low game, or maybe an Omaha high pot limit game. And we'd love to, and hopefully at some point we will.
Look at this. Sai's got pocket queens here in seat 8, and it's a straddled pot, and he's going to raise.
75.
Makes it 75. Again, I like that big raise with Adam limping in because it's a raise for value.
Yeah.
Now, Adam's got a jack 10. He limped under the gun in the straddle, and he's probably going to call with jack 10, even though, he probably shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're really, really deep and you've got your gut position on somebody, you just don't want to call that big raise. Heads up, out of position with a hand that's dominated. And sure enough, we're going to see it heads up, jack 10 versus queens.
And we're heads up. Here we go. 5-6-5 now. Is Adam going to bluff at it? Well, no, it gets checked over to side, and he moves all in.
And Adam throws it away.
That's a little bit of a gross overbet there. I mean, the pot was about 130. Adam has like 800 or 900 in front of him, right?
Yeah.
900 to about $150 pot.
He might have been looking at it going, well, what am I going to, if I bet?
Yeah.
Actually, it was $75 each way, so the pot was actually $170. I guess if he looked at it and said, well, if I bet 200 here, if he raises me, I'm going to call anyway.
Why not give him the opportunity, though?
I'm with you.
Yeah. Live straddle here by Adam in seat 5.
I mean, sometimes I think half of our job is impossible because we're just trying to get inside. We're trying to get inside these people's heads.
Now, Sai's going to
figure out what they're thinking.
Sai's going to raise to 40 here up front with Queen Jack of Clubs. Now, JR's got an ace-king suited in the small blind. He's played it probably as tight as anyone.
I think you re-raised this. Now, I think that Sai is giving away a little bit. Remember, he just raised at $75 with something else.
Right.
We don't know what it was. I mean, everybody else at the table doesn't. But now he's making it 40 to go.
Just a call here from JR. And Adam's in there with Queen 3.
And JR just does not have that much money. I think with Ace King here, I think you need to push.
Here we go.
Well, he's flopped it.
King 4-7. See how he's going to play it, Dave.
I think it's clear check raise time with that kind of flop. It's not a scary board at all.
He's also short. Sometimes we talk about in this game with the stack sizes this size. But look at this. He takes a card. Side is not bet. Now, the turn's a 5. Now JR can bet here. He's got the nut flush draw as well.
Yeah, and he's probably going to take this down. And Ace-King is one of the few hands that I actually like to check raise with.
Well, again, in this game, with the stack sizes similar to what JR has, in this one particular situation, backwards play is actually almost playing it correct. Say you've got 225 and you call maybe a $75 pre-flop raise heads up with Ace-King. You might bet the flop if you miss, and you might check raise the flop all in if you hit.
Yeah.
Because if you bet if you hit and the guy's got queens or jacks, he might just fold.
Well, that's the point. There's no real positive EV if you're playing against a good player. If you have Ace-King, the flop comes out of King, he's only going to call you or raise you with the same hand or a better hand, probably. Unless he got lucky and hit a set.
But if you actually check and give him the opportunity to bet,
now
obviously
take a shot at it.
It's obviously a lot different when you're playing a deeper stack, Dave, because, building the pot up position.
Of course.
Ace-6-6 here.
And nobody's got anything here. Check, check. Well, size now got a 10. And Adam is drawing dead. Takes down. I mean, I'll point this out to you. Now, let's say a tight player. Let's say somebody like Kim or a player like T raises it up. And I put this player on aces or kings. And I call him a pocket eights. And the flop comes out something like 8-4 deuce. Well, in that case, I might bet right into them. Because they're going to raise me probably with their aces or kings. And then I can re-raise them all in, and they might already be pot committed. Now, at ace-king, though, like you said, if a king or an ace flop, unless they have me beat, it's very easy for them to get away from queens, jacks, and so forth.
$20 raise here. Pajeto puts up on 2+2. How about playing the bike tourney on Sunday, Dave? $200 no limit if you're going to be available. Of course, our Stars and Stripes tournament series going on. And I'll just say this for myself. I like to kind of stay away from the casino on weekends if all possible.
Yeah, I
got
got to tell
days
you.
off. 5 days a week is enough for me down here.
And I hate to say it, but I actually love the tournaments here. They're great tournaments. But if I want to prepare myself for the World Series, I'd actually like to play one where I get a little more play in it. More chips, more deep stack.
So Guy raised it with ace-8.
Look at Zach's hand, though. Zach's got top 2.
King, queen, 8 on the flop. And I think the Guy's going to continuation bet here. He's all in.
Yeah, and you wonder, is He-Man going to get himself in trouble here?
Now, is Zach going to raise? I mean, it's a pretty connected board.
Yeah, it's a clear-cut raise. You've got to raise this, and he does.
He does raise. I think it's an easy fold here for He-Man now with the king-jack.
Yeah, He-Man's got no real redraw.
There's nothing you can beat here except king-10. But he makes the call.
I mean, he can beat a spade draw if the guy had, say, like ace.
And Adam overcalls with a gut shot to the jack.
I was going to say, you can beat, say, ace-10 of spades, specifically that hand. That's a heck of a draw if you have ace-10 of spades.
So here we go on the side. The turn's a deuce.
Did Guy call?
Guy's all in. He pushed all in on
Thank
the
you.
flop.
I was wondering. I'm going, he called that?
So it's time for Zach to continue to bet. And he moves all in here on the side. And you know what? It's a proper bet here with this connected board.
Oh, definitely.
Now He-Man's put in a spot here where he called the bet and the raise on the flop. Zach continues to fire. He's going to bet 170. He-Man's got about 150 left.
You've got to realize there's 2 more players in the pot. Maybe one of them have spades. Maybe somebody else has a straight draw. Where are you? You can't beat anything.
He-Man is drawing dead to the pot. There's no way he can win. He can't win on the side. He can't win in the main. And he puts
Look
in
at me. What
dead.
the hell? I'm putting my money in there. And he's in bad shape, obviously. He's drawing dead, like you said.
Now, Guy could catch an 8 for the main pot, and that's it. And the river is an ace or an ace. And he makes aces up to take down the main pot.
Oh, man.
Wow, what a bad beat there for Zach.
Well, at least for Zach, though, the side pot was very significant. I want to say the side pot was actually probably bigger than the main pot.
Yeah. Actually, Guy bet 25 all in on the flop, and that was it. So you got the raise pre-flop, it was about 100, and then it was about maybe 175 to 200 in the main, and then all the money kind of went into the side. But
And
again,
I think He-Man's finally getting up.
still kind of stings a little bit, though. I mean, we got king, queen, and then the guy, rivers, 2 pair, aces up there.
You look at the deck and you go, okay, 42 cards, 37 are good for me, 5 bad, and you lose. Man, that's tough. Anyway, I think I'm actually going to take a look at it. I actually want to see if I can try to win my seat. Play a couple of super satellites for the World Series over at Poker Stars, and I might try some of those deep stack tournaments you mentioned.
Mo's actually going to start doing like little satellites into Legends, the Legends main event here, starting on the cash floor pretty soon, Dave.
Well, the Legends this year, which is that's our big tournament every year. It's our World Poker Tour event. Is actually going to be a $10,000 event.
It's going to be 10,000.
I was kind of disappointed about that. I'd like to think 5,000.
It used to be unique in the fact that it was always the biggest WPT main event field because it was only 5,000.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it though.
4 players.
Easier for me to get in.
Four-way action here. We had a raise by Cy with ace-10, and he's hit top pair.
Yeah, nothing like raising with ace-10 and then hitting top pair.
But he checked it. He checked it. The turn's a queen. Maybe he was trying to get Adam to bite. Now the turn comes an overcard. And now is Cy going to bet?
Oh, I think he needs to here. A lot of draws out there. You've got to realize a lot of gut shots.
You might not know if his hand's good now that the queen comes. He bets 50.
And Adam calls.
Well, Adam's got a gut shot here to the 9, right?
Yeah, I was trying to think if he had a double gutter, but he does not.
Guy also has a gut shot to the jack.
And it's also a one-liner. I mean, if the 9 comes, it's a pretty much garbage straight, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, you're not going to make any money on it. Now, if you have king jack, it's a lot different.
And the river here is a 9, and Adam makes it. Are you kidding me? And look at this. Cy checks, and how much is Adam going to get paid off? Talk about absolutely no implied odds with this straight.
Well, now this is the question here. Now, Cy can't beat much at all. I mean, he can't beat a jack. He can't beat a queen. He can't beat 2 pair. And this is the problem with this hand. There's no implied odds, and I don't think Cy can call. Can he? No.
Nope. Well, I think Cy tried to play it tricky. He was trying to get Adam to bite there on the flop. I mean, he raised it with ace-10, and then he didn't bet the flop.
Yeah, it's an odd way to play the hand, I got to tell you.
New player coming in as seat 4. And his name is David.
It's a heck of a good name, I tell you. Hell of a name. There it is.
Got about a half an hour left in the show.
Yeah, one of the reasons I like the $5,000 entry fee, it doesn't really make a difference. If you're going to finish in first or second place, the money is so significant anyway. Does it really make it more significant if it's $10,000?
Adams picked up a couple of jacks here from the cutoff. He's going to raise it to 40. And you're right, George over there in seat 9, he hasn't seen a flop in, it seems like hours.
Yeah.
I mean, he just had ace rag. We saw from the beginning an hour. He was playing ace anything there.
I was trying to think, what did Kenneth James win for getting in second place last year? 500?
500,000.
So he won 500,000. So if it's a $10,000 entry tournament, maybe second place would be 900,000. I got to tell you, $500,000 is okay for me. I can start off there.
Boy, is that going to be a fun time here during Live at the Bike this year.
Oh, man.
Well, we had a fun time last year, but this year it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I remember we had Paul Darden come and play. That was a lot of fun, seeing him play.
Well, our show is, grown leaps and bounds here. And when we get those big players here, it will be fabulous. Obviously, all the big players are here during Legends. Phil Ivey,
I think Paul Darden, he's playing, a small game ring. He was playing the 10-20 no limit game, the 1,000 game, because he said when he came into the booth with me, it was really the kind of first couple times he had ever played no limit cash games. He didn't have a lot of experience in the game.
Yeah, he says he grew up playing in Foxwoods.
Right.
And he said that most of the games that he would play when he was playing live cash games were stud. But he likes to play no limit hold'em in tournaments.
5-way action here. Ace 8 on the flop. He had a tiny late little raise here. But I want to say, turns to 4 of clubs.
The JR has the best hand here, but Guy now has the queen high flush draw.
Guy's going to bet.
And JR does not put money in the pot. Is JR going to call this, though, at 2/10?
Well, the funny thing, if you replay this hand back in your head, is Guy the type of guy that would sandbag an 8 there with ace 8-8 on the button with 2 clubs? Wouldn't he also bet an ace? Yeah. Do you think 10s might be good there? But he doesn't get involved. He does have the player in between, T.
You always want to pick your spots there. And Guy's in great shape here. I mean, T's obviously not going to call. Adam's actually moving all in.
Wow.
What does Adam have? Show your hand, Adam.
What do we have, Ronnie? Oh, Jack 5. Well, I think that Adam kind of sensed the same thing. I mean, would this guy,
sense the weakness?
Yeah.
I mean, I said this on Friday. I think Adam's instincts are really good. He's got the makings of what could be a good poker player. He's obviously just got to be able to change gears and rein it in a little bit.
Email here from Mark Wanagara. He says, I've found that players like him get paid off by... I think he's referring to Kim in seat 1 there, by the no of paying attention donks, quote unquote. More often than you think, because people like to beat those players more than any other with bad beats. Obviously, at a table where people are paying attention, she's at a disadvantage by not mixing it up.
Yeah, it's a great email from Mark there. He's 100% correct. At a table like this, or if she was playing the $200 game, there's no point in mixing it up. She's kind of playing the Russ Fox school of poker.
Right.
And that school of poker really does beat these kind of games. No, I'll say, I don't think she stands a chance if she was playing in a game with Mo or you or, Jonas, players like that. But hey, she's not.
Got a $35 raise here by Syed, ace-10 offsuit. And look at this, Adam calls with 10-4 offsuit in seat 5.
And there's the ace.
Cy gets the ace. Now, wait a minute. Was Adam the pre-flop raiser or was Cy? Adam was the pre-flop raiser, Dave. Okay. So Adam's going to try to represent here, but Cy has the ace.
And is there any way you just call this with Cy? I mean, a lot of ways to play this hand.
I think with ace-10, I think you just keep calling because I think it's a bluff catcher.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's going to raise it to 150. But even with Adam, if Adam comes over the top, do you really want to get involved with ace-10? I think it's just a call.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, even if players like Adam, obviously, more often than not, he has nothing. But once in a while, he does wake up with a real hand. I mean, crazy players get aces and get ace-king just as often as everybody else.
Right. Button's going to move over here to seat 9.
Now, speaking of Stars and Stripes, obviously, today's tournament was Omaha High-Low, $100 entry. Now, tomorrow's tournament's a pretty exciting one. It'll start at 4:15 p.m. It's no limit hold'em, $100 buy-in with one optional rebuy. So we've got this 4:15 p.m. start, no limit hold'em, $100 buy-in with one optional rebuy. The action should be crazy here tomorrow night. Absolutely nuts.
Got a little raise here by the one off the cutoff here, seat 7. He's going to make it 30 to go with a couple of red 9s. George is going to call on the button with king, queen offsuit.
King, queen hand, we talk about a hand that's often dominated, but in position, I think you can call.
Adam calls here with jack 5 offsuit. Seat 8 is in there with ace rag suited. So here we go, 4-way action, about a $140 pot, 7-7-4 here. Well, 9s are good here, Dave.
Yeah, it's not a bad flop for 9s, huh?
Guy's gonna bet. Looks like he might be all in. Yeah, he's all in. He bets all in for 95 here, which is a little under the size of the pot. I don't think anybody can call.
Nah, it's a pretty easy fold for everybody.
Not this time.
Take it down, guy.
More money, man.
He can match that. Bud moves over here to seat 1.
This is a great email here from Bob Law. Do you know him?
I don't.
Great email. He says here, and I know it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, but it's just fabulous email here. I felt that Kim D's folding a pocket queen was one of the greatest plays in poker history. Let's assume that she has no knowledge of the other players, was facing a raise and a re-raise, and in hindsight, she would have gone broke in the first 10 minutes of play. He also saw Kim D play at Bart's 300 to 500 table last night and ended up big again while Bart lost big. Moral of this email, she who can. He who can't, commentates. Great email here from Bob Law.
Losing big is $40. Tell him about the rest of the night, Dave, last night, when I actually got into the 500 game.
Yeah, you had a great night. Actually, there's a hand that I really want to talk about. I really would love you to post about it. Maybe I'll write in my own blog about your hand, since you don't have a blog.
I actually ended up about almost $3,500 over there at the 500.
Oh, you had a great night, yeah.
But I had a couple of tough hands that make you age, that I'll remember for a long time.
Yeah, they were interesting.
I won them all, but they were difficult. Got a raise here by Adam. I think he's straddled.
I know I dunked off about $400 to you.
Adam raised here with ace-8, and Zach called with king-jack off suit. And we're heads up here, and Adam is ahead with ace-8. Oh, there's the ace, ace-9-10. Zach's got a gut shot here to the queen, 2 hearts on board. Check, check. Adam does not bet on the ace. The turn's a 7, and now the jack's open-ended. And now, Zach might bet, but Adam's put himself in such a spot where Adam's actually open-ended as well.
Yeah, actually, Zach has actually got a double gutter.
He does.
Queen or an 8. And Adam's open-ended.
Now, Zach bets, and Adam moves all in. And Zach has a double gutter here.
And now it's just a math question here. It really is just a math question. Zach's going to throw it away. Take it down, Adam. He induces a bluff there.
River would have been a queen.
Why show? Oh, he shows the 8, actually.
He showed the 8.
Okay, that's okay. I like that. I thought he showed the ace.
Funny thing, good old Dave Tuckman, he's like, You know, I'm probably up on Dave almost now $3,000 or $4,000 because we play each other in the game, and oftentimes
no more action. Ever.
Oftentimes we'll butt heads in the game afterwards. You know, I make a raise in mid position. I think it was 65, and Dave's like, "Oh, I'll give you action," and he calls the small blind with ace 4 flush.
It was funny. I mean, I was talking about this hand right at the beginning of the show. It was funny. I kind of looked to my left, and there were a couple of limpers already. So there was like $10, $10, $10. You made it 65, and it comes back to me in the big blind, and I'm going, and I looked to my left, and it looked like 2 or 3 of those players were going to call, and I go, okay, I don't mind this 5 ways. I'll see the flop for $55 more. Why not? I throw my money in there, and everybody folds, and I'm going, oh Jesus, what did I do? I told you, I went home and I wrote a little mantra for myself. I will not give Bart any more action.
6-way action straddled, so it's a $60 pot. Jack 10-5 here. We got a couple people with top pair.
Hey, live and learn, right?
Zach has got the best kicker with Jack 9. Seat 4 is a new player. He's got Jack Deuce. Guy is going to bet.
15.
And Seat 9 calls in between. Seat 9's got pocket 7s.
15.
And Zach raises with Jack 9.
I like to play there on the button, Jack 9. You raise there for a little information.
I don't quite understand the call in between by George at 7s. And Guy's going to call with 8, 10.
Oh, that'll obviously get George out of there. Well, maybe he thinks that Guy is betting like, Queen Jack or 9-8 or something like
Turns
that.
Turns an 8, and Guy makes 2 pair. Now look at Zach's hand. He's got a straight flush open-ended draw right there. Open-ended straight flush draw. And I think it was an all-in and a call. And the river is a 6. Guy moved all in, and Zach called. And Guy's going to win it with 2 pair. Boy, the hands just keep coming up like crazy.
Actually, no, there's still a bet here. It was not all in. It was 100, and Zach calls him.
Okay.
They actually went check on the turn.
Yeah.
Amazingly, Guy gave him a free card. I guess he was expecting to do a check raise. Zach took the free card with that huge draw. Guy bets 100 on the turn, and Zach felt inclined to pay him off. There was a one-liner to a straight out there, right? No, not
quite. No, it looked like it was an all-in because I thought Zach was. I can actually have an action monitor in front of me. It looked like he was putting in chips. I thought he was making a call of the all-in.
It looked like it, yeah.
Well, Zach actually, he didn't bet there on the turn, but he had a huge draw with top pair.
Once again, our show is live. It's unedited, unscripted. Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. You'll never see a show like this anywhere.
Live.
2407.
Live straddle here.
I mean, when you're watching something at home and you watch, like, say, the World Series or the World Poker Tour on TV, you're talking about a show that has months and months of post-production.
Actually, it's not a live straddle.
And obviously, our show being live, we all make mistakes once in a while.
We need to see Adam's hand in seat 5. 3-way action here. King, Jack, King with a couple clubs.
Something good.
Adam has Queen 7, turns an ace.
And he's right, it is nothing good.
And now Cy, who limped in with ace 5, has the best hand. And he's going to bet here on the turn.
I mean, if you sit down in this game and you look over at Cy's chips, you got to go, man, what did you do?
Look at this, a bet. Cy bets, and Adam calls with a gut shot in the 10. The river's a jack. And this one here is going to get checked down, and aces and kings is going to win it.
How awesome is Pojato? Jay Siegel there sends me the Deep Stack Poker Stars tournament schedule for this weekend.
And there's some smaller ones. A lot of them are small ones, Dave.
Well, what's this weekend? Let's look at this weekend here, Saturday and Sunday.
$3 plus rebuy, $10 plus redie, $3 plus redie.
One on Sunday.
Oh, well, that's their standard Sunday one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's anything special.
Well, 500 plus 30 is not bad either.
Again, that only runs once a month.
Oh, I see. So it's either 200, 500, or 1,000. It's one of those 3, but it's deep stack. You get a lot of chips.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, these other ones, I think you even get, you might even get more in the smaller ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially. I thought that they were like $30 ones, but I guess not.
Kind of either a $5 one or a $200 one. You can always win a satellite to get into the $200 one.
Yeah. Get a raise here.
On the button.
No, we had a raise. Adam's got ace queen, and the button has ace 7, so Adam's in command here.
Yep.
Jack 5 Jack on the flop. Adam checks, and David checks. Turns a 9.
And Adam's in great shape here, but
now Adam bets, and David calls with ace high. Wow. Let me go to the river. River's an ace, and ace queen's going to play here.
and I think you bet for value here, don't you? Wow, and David's going to bet this for value. He thinks his ace is good.
I think that Adam bet and David called.
Oh, he did? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I thought it was the other way around. He must have verbally said 50.
Yeah.
And Adam threw the money in there.
Seems like some of these hands are going really quick tonight. Yeah. Bits and bits of action getting
Well, you know,
all melded into one.
a lot of guys, you know, a lot of these players that are playing no limit here, they're new to poker, and a lot of them are doing a lot of them. They make their bets verbally. They'll say $25 or $50, or they'll even say all in. And obviously, it's hard for us to pick that up.
Button's going to move to Adam in seat 5. Zach's got pocket 10s here. He's going to just limp here, Dave.
You say raise?
No, I never said nothing.
If I got a $5 chip in my hand and I throw in a 25, what do you think it is?
It means a call, fine.
Oh, there's a little bit of... Zach is angry, Dave. Let me explain what just happened here. Zach threw in $25, did not say raise, and he's pissed. But the rules are pre-flop that if you throw a big denomination chip in and do not announce it, it's just a call.
And look at this.
Guy's
This
got
is terrible.
terrible 5s.
If he raises, maybe Guy doesn't call with Jack 5 offsuit here.
Right.
And look at that, trip 5s for Guy.
And I think Zach has moved all in. He's moved all in for 75, and Zach is going to be real pissed here. But again, that is definitely the rule.
Yeah, and I'd like to go over it
And
one more
Adam
time.
calls on the button with 9-4. And now what is Guy going to do?
I think it's an easy raise.
Easy check raise here?
Easy check raise. I think you have to raise this. The board is too connected. Too easy for Adam to have, say, 6-7, 6-3, or
Yeah,
hearts.
he's going to make it 150.
Already?
Way to shoot back.
I think this is an easy fold here for Adam.
Yeah, of course.
It's kind of hard to miss.
I mean, Adam would be drawing or running 4s here, right?
Or running 9s, yeah. And Zach needs a 10 and only a 10 to win this pot.
Wow, and Adam calls. Wow.
Busting up. Wow.
And we're going to build a sign pot up here. I just don't know what Adam's
And
doing.
it's funny, it says Adam can't win that. Why can't running 9s come?
Turns a queen.
Well, now he's dead. I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think you move all in here if you have Jack 5. If the guy's got me beat, he's got me beat. If you have ace 5, hey, God bless you. In this game, I'm just not deep stacked enough to get away from it. There's no way. And I don't want to get tricky just in case my opponent's on hearts or he's on some sort of straight draw. I'd rather him call me with the draw.
That's 150. Adam quickly folds. Now, Zach is drawing there to a 10. He could win with a 10. So here we go to the river.
I'd love to get a shot of...
River's an 8.
I'd love to get a shot of... oh, he's just going to leave.
Jack, yeah, he's
He tries to raise.
walking away.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hear the rules now. And just for you people at home, if you play mostly on the internet,
There he is. There, great shot there, Ray.
and you're making your first trip to a live casino, and you want to play no limit hold'em. Now, limit hold'em is different, obviously, because the bets are pretty obvious because it's limit. Now, a no limit though, pre-flop, if you toss in a chip, one chip, it is just a call. You have to say raise.
Right.
Oftentimes, if I'm raising, what I'll do is just to make sure that I don't hurt myself, I don't make a mistake, I'll always almost bring 2 chips in there. So let's say I want to make the raise. Let's say I'm playing in a 10-20 game and I want to make a $100 raise. Instead of grabbing a $100 chip and tossing it in, I'll always almost grab 105, 110, or 90. Just to make it so I know I'm raising.
Adam raised it here, and JR called. JR's hit the ace. Now, JR, probably, I would check raise here. Again, with ace against a player like Adam. $30 bet. Well, just a call here.
Oh, you see? Oh, really?
Here we go to the turn. Turns Jack.
And Adam is drawing dead. See the check mark next to JR's hand?
Goes check, check, and the river's a 9, and now Adam picks up a pair. And it's just going to get checked down.
Yeah.
Now post flop, Dave, you can throw in a denominational chip And you don't have to say it. It's not the minimum bet. If I throw in a $1,000 chip, it is $1,000 post-flop.
Exactly, and you've got to be aware of that as well.
We got an old friend coming to the table, Dave. Dave and I know this guy from back in the old limit days. Coco, coming in to see too. He's actually played on the show when we used to do 20, 40, and 30, 60 way back when, like over a year ago.
Now, he is one of the tightest players ever I've ever seen in Limit Hold'em. Does he play as tight in No Limit?
I've never played with him in No Limit.
Oh, my, I got to see this guy. He plays it so tight in Limit. I mean, he throws away, I mean, I've seen him throw kings away pre-flop. He claims he's thrown away aces pre-flop, and he showed it to somebody.
He always tells a story about how he raised with aces, and it got capped 6 ways, and he folded aces, because, you know, chances were he wasn't going to win. And I've always tried to explain to him about it, but then I just gave up.
No point.
You know, the funny thing about Coco, though, is that he actually steams stuff. He's tight, but he steams.
Yeah, like most players.
Linked around here, Jack 8-9.
Wow.
Look at David, he's flopped straight here in seat 4.
Can he get any action, though? Now, interesting here, if he bets his hand, JR might call him because he's open-ended as well.
Well, he checks over to Guy, and Guy is going to bet with 4-9. 4-9, seat 8 calls with 10-4 with an open-ended straight draw. And what is David going to do? Is he going to check raise? Look at this, JR calls, and now he check raises.
Yeah, it's a great raise here. It really is. You don't want to you want to charge those 10s to catch up to you. And actually, if the queen were to fall, JR would beat him with a king high straight.
Button folds. It's over to Sai. I think Sai's going to get away from it here, Dave. Now there is, you know, it is a rainbow board here. He folds. And I got to tell you, JR is probably going to fold here. The only value of JR's hand, of course, Dave, is if the queen comes, he beats any other 10.
Right. Problem is that he just doesn't have enough money to make this worthwhile, does he? I mean, if he's got $1,000 more, you can call this. It's also pretty obvious. Let's say your opponent has a jack. Let's say your opponent has ace-jack. If a queen or a 7 come, are you really going to get paid off? And if a 7 were to come, it's actually in reverse implied odds.
Right, because then David would have the good end of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's really only got 3 outs to the winner.
JR's flipping it right now. What do you do?
Yeah, it's a good fold by JR, it really is. Yeah. If you're real deep, you might be able to call, but even with that kind of flop, I don't like King 10 that much.
Got an email here from Saul H.
It's an interesting, I mean, just to sum up his email, he basically is talking about how he's only winning, say, 45 to 50% of his sessions, but his wins are a lot better than his losses. So he's an overall big winner. And in the end, isn't that what makes a difference? Who cares how many sessions you win? What's more important is how much money you're winning.
Going to do the final chip count of the night here, Dave.
Yeah. Wow, $9,000 on the table. And Kim D's stack has not moved 1 iota. Let's see how they're doing. Wow, what a day for Sai, huh? Adam down 1,300.
And Kim D, we haven't seen her play hand since the first hour of the show.
Yeah, she really, really tightened up. Just waiting for the nuts. And there you have it. Anyway, it was interesting. Barry Greenstein, I used to talk to him about this, and he also wrote about it in his book, Ace on the River, where he said, he goes, I actually lose. He actually loses more sessions than he wins. But what he does is, if he's playing a long session and he's winning, he will push that edge.
Right.
And make his win huge.
And obviously, you know, you talk about the players that, you know, kind of their leaks in their game, they'll push their losses. They're stuck and they'll stay. You see it so often, even with advanced players.
Oh, exactly. And Barry used to talk about, he goes, hey, I want to limit my losses and never limit my wins. And like you just said, I mean, most people play it the exact opposite.
Oh, I was actually looking at the wrong thing here, Dave. That was the general tournament.
Oh, okay, good.
Let's get to this in a second. We got a raise here by Adam to 50. And he's going to take it to... Okay, so Saturday and Sunday... Why are we even mentioning this? Is PokerStars one of our sponsors?
He's waiting for you.
I guess I'm just mentioning it because I might be on there. So if you want to play against me.
$30 no limit at 6:15 Eastern on Saturday.
How about 2:30 in the morning? Saturday.
All of them $5,000 chips with 30-minute blinds, which is nice. And that is a lot. And like I said, that's more than you get in the bigger tournament.
I'm assuming here 30-minute blinds online is probably the equivalent to an hour or an hour and a half.
Oh, maybe even more than that.
Other than him, but he takes everybody else out. So
Always lose my mind.
Saturday afternoon, 4:15 Dave, our time, $100 plus 9, and 5,000 chips.
Oh, I'll definitely be there. That's 4:15 our time.
Yeah, Saturday at 4:15. You're gonna play in that one before?
I think so, yeah, pretty much. It's a great format.
Jack 10-5 here. Look at this, 2 flush draws here. Guy and George. And George has bottom pair with the flush draw. Guy's got a straight draw on the flush draw. Adam's got Queen Jack. It was limped around. Kim D's open-ended here on the button. Guy bets 30. George just folded the 4-5 of hearts. Are you kidding me? Wow. He just folded the flush draw on the pair. Kim calls.
Now, I can understand throwing it away if you have 4, if you just have the naked flush draw, but with a pair, I can't believe that.
Kim calls with the open-ended straight draw with 2 flush, and now Adam check raises with Queen Jack. And Guy's hand might be a little bit too good to get away from. I mean, he's got Queen 8.
I gotta tell you, if I'm Guy here, I re-raise it. I'm in position.
He might not have any fold equity.
I don't mind no fold equity, though.
He calls.
I call?
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm pushing in position here. I'm raising it up here with Queen 8 of hearts.
We go to the turn. Turns to 6. Adam bets 150 on the turn. He needs a heart or a 9. Queen is not good, and we know that their 2 hearts are dead.
Hello? Got this ringing in my ear.
$150 bet here by Adam. The pot is about $500, 150 to call.
You're getting about 3-1 on your money plus implied odds.
Well, if you factor in implied odds, it's probably the right call if you think you're going to win some money from Adam.
The problem is those are you. I mean, if a heart comes, it's always pretty obvious. I mean, I guess if a 9...
You only need to really make 150 or 200 for this to be the right call on the river if you make it.
You're right. I mean, you count it, you got 12 outs here, 28% chance of winning the pot.
Okay.
He makes the call.
Yeah.
Now, that 28% does not factor in the dead hearts that we know is over in seat 9-10.
Exactly. A 9 or a heart.
$600 pot to the river, and the river's a queen, and let's screw Guy here.
Now, that actually might be reverse implied odds here.
Adam checks, and Guy moves all in. Guy has moved all in. I mean, he made a weak hand on the river. Is he betting thinking that he needs to bet to win here, or is he trying to bet for value? I mean, Adam has made 2 pair here on the river.
Wow, I mean, well, if you put your opponent on 9-8, specifically 9-8, open-ended straight draw, he got there.
I mean, I guess 9-8, but I mean, that queen, and the only other thing it brings up is king 9 it makes, and king.
It's such an odd bet, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you almost look at it and go, this guy's either got 9-8, ace-king of hearts, or nothing. I mean, that's almost you think.
It's easy for us. I think he might have busted hearts here. He moves all in for 300. The pot is about 800, 300 to call.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Actually, it's a $900 pot, 300 to call.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting 3-1 on the call. I mean, this guy, he only has to be bluffing 1 out of 4 times to make it worthwhile for you to call this.
King 9, huh?
Adam says king 9.
You can see exactly what he
It's like king 9 of hearts almost.
Well, he's pretty close. That's what he's putting him on. He thinks maybe this guy backed into a straight, going for the flush.
Yeah, it's a $900 pot, 300 to call.
Are you impressed today? Are you impressed by that read? You're impressed?
No, the problem is I think I might make a correct read and then still call and leave.
And it's a really good read. I mean, it's a good read. That's what he's thinking. Did this guy back into a straight, going for the flush? And king 9 of hearts is a definite possibility, but I think he's got to call.
Love for me to call?
I think there's just too many chances that this guy's got busted flush.
Let's listen in.
You don't have a straight? Are you telling me my jack is good?
I'm telling you, you've been losing everybody.
You know I got no hand, man.
Everybody tonight.
I need 1 second, guys.
Are you doing this to the camera or what?
No. Call.
And he calls, Dave. He makes the call.
Okay, good.
And there it is. Wow, what an odd hand.
This guy got incredible reads. I don't care what nobody say here. This guy is
JR says he's got incredible reads.
Yeah, JR's giving him props, man.
I don't know if it was really all that much of a monster call. I really don't.
I don't think JR was that impressed with the call. I think he was impressed with what he put his opponent on. He said this guy's got heart draw with a straight draw. He put him on king 9 of hearts. And that's a pretty good read there when you say king 9 of hearts has got queen 8 of hearts.
I gotta give it to you.
Giving him props, they're giving him some love.
I don't know. I never watched.
Feeling you.
What's the rest of the
That's
cold-blooded,
I
man?
was like, yeah, might as well do this.
Look at that. Adam's head is swelling.
Wow. Guy has actually lost a lot here tonight. So do you think the guy was trying to, I mean, do you think the guy didn't think he had the best hand on the river? I mean, he must not have, right? I mean, he made top pair on the river. If he thought his hand was good in the showdown, he would have just checked the hand, right?
Unless you think you can get called by a jack.
Well, remember, though, Adam did check raise the flop, so you got to give him credit for at least something.
You give him credit for top pair, jack. I mean, isn't it possible that Adam had king jack or ace jack? And might he actually get paid off? I mean, let me ask you this. Let's say you had the nut flush draw there, right? And you had the ace. And you catch the ace on the river. And your opponent checks to you. Might you bet the ace for value? Well, I guess he thought, okay, I'll bet my queen for value. It is definitely an odd bet, but you think about it, well, okay. He probably thinks his queen is good, and he's betting it for value, maybe. I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's always hard for us to try to get inside these guys' heads.
Email here from Tim in Houston. He says, post flop, if no one's open, one big chip is a bet. But if there has been a bet in front of you, is one big chip call or raise? I think
It's actually a call,
right? It's call.
It's actually a call. That's well brought up. If somebody bets $20 post flop and you toss in a $5,000 chip, it is a call, not a raise. And obviously, we know a lot of our viewers play on the internet online. And if you have any questions, if you're actually going to play, go to a casino, go to Vegas, or come down to LA and you're playing for the first time live, feel free to ask us these questions. PM one of us.
Kim raised it up there.
And
what did she have there, Ron?
When queens come, I mean, what else?
she had a 10-8.
Oh, okay. 10-8 suited.
So the way the hand gets better.
Playing her image there.
Mix it up a little bit. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? If she can pick up the blinds here and there, she can play this tight. Why not?
Again, tomorrow night, tune in for our big whale game, 25-50, unrestricted buy-in, no limit hold'em. 3,000 min buy-in.
Yeah, it should be insane.
Ace-king suited here for George. And he's going to pop it up a little bit. Again, he hasn't played it hand in hours. Makes it 25 to go. Now, Kim D's got 7-10 suited. She folds. Coco folds.
Now, I'm going to throw this at you, and I'm going to throw this at our viewers. One of the reasons you got to pay attention, you really got to focus when you're playing in a no-limit game. If, let's say, you just noticed that George early on was kind of splashing around, you'd think, oh, this guy might have nothing. But now you've got to realize this guy hasn't played a hand in an hour. So obviously he's playing a lot differently now than he was, say, 2.5 hours ago.
Again, you can add us to your MySpace page by going to myspace.com.
Hey, I didn't want to say anything, but I got to tell you, I don't want to jinx them. But the Red Sox, they are off to a torrid start.
6-1.
Man.
It always seems like it's the same pattern, though, every year. I mean, they jump ahead, and then the Yankees just eventually catch up.
I got to tell you, though, this year is different, though. They've got 3 solid starters, a solid closer,
Yeah, it looks like
and a
Schilling
great
is
lineup.
the real deal again this year.
Schilling's back. They got Josh Beckett. I got to tell you, I mean, I'm not a Red Sox fan, but they look like the real deal this year. So sad. Ronnie's a Pirate.
Ronnie's a Pirates fan.
The Pirates have come out of the gate.
Oh my God! 1-7.
Pretty much like they always come out of the gate. 1-7.
That's funny. And of course, Ray, he's an A's fan, but I got to tell you, now that the Red Sox have won the World Series, I think the A's can definitely be considered the biggest choke artist team in postseason play in baseball history. If you look at the postseasons that they've been in.
I got to tell you, Billy Beane can blow me. The guy gets all this. He gets all these props for what? For like what? For making your team a contender? Win something and then.
Ray's muted.
Come on, King. I haven't checked yet.
Ray muted both of us.
Yeah, Ray muted me there. But seriously though, win something then come back to me. Come on.
Seat 7 bet here with Queen 10 has a bluff.
And George can't call this though.
But Adam's in the hand. We can't see what he has in seat 5. It's Guy against Adam. We got check to Guy. He bet. And Adam's got Queen Jack here, Dave. He has the best hand. Queen Jack against Queen 10. What is it? Is Adam going to make a move here?
Apparently he will.
He calls.
Actually, I made a mini raise.
Oh, he made a mini raise here, and look at this. He's got the best hand. He's got the best hand with Queen Jack. He's an overwhelming favorite. He's had a guy's number all night.
Well, now he's got diamond draw.
Diamond.
And the river's an 8, but this one is going to get chopped up, though, because it's a double paired board.
Yes.
I love how I get
Kings and 4s, the queen kicker. Chop it up.
And we've had a fun night for this game, this 3 to 5 game. This is going to be the last hand of the night.
Yeah, really, a lot of fun. Make sure you catch us tomorrow night.
You can watch this show on a replay that runs 22 hours a day. Or actually a little less than that, including the live show. But between 5 and 7 Pacific time, we are dark. So don't go all crazy on us. Say, it's not working, it's not working. Well, we're probably dark 2 hours before the show, preparing for the next night's show.
I know, you had a chip in the chair. He had a big comeback.
Button's going to move over to seat 5.
Ace King for Kim D, and you know what? We opened the show with fireworks for Kim D, and maybe we're going to finish it with fireworks for Kim D. And she's going to raise it up. And is anybody going to give her action?
Well, I can see C4 at a queen, fold, and no one's got anything here to call with. And we don't. I think we're going to see. Are we going to see one more hand? Because we don't like to end it with a non-flop.
Okay.
Now I see I would have folded my kings against you.
So we'll see one more hand.
Kim D books a nice win tonight, proving yet again he's not
I love that
a lot of
dissolve.
hands.
That was a nice one, Brad. Pick that up.
What do you do?
He dissolved right into Kim. That was great. You're going to teach Isaac that one. Oh, man. We can do it with some of those girls that sit behind the players sometimes. Oh. If anybody missed that, check it out in the replay.
Big hand here. Pocket kings for T.
Yep.
And if there's anybody tighter than Kim, it's T. He's only played one hand, and that was the nut flush earlier. And now he's got pocket kings.
Seat 4 is going to bring it in, though, with ace 4 offsuit. Adam quickly calls with big lit suited, 69 suited.
I was going to raise that one.
Now, when T raises this, is George going to get involved?
What?
Oh, my gosh.
Wow, he's going to raise it 200.
And I got to tell you, if I'm George, I'm out of this hand so quickly.
Okay, if you're out of this hand with ace king, you're out of this hand with queens, probably, right?
I might even throw kings away.
Is Adam going to call?
This is a busting game.
I mean, he's got more money now, but I don't know if T is deep enough, though, to make this call.
Because he already has overfed.
Yeah. And that's going to do it for us tonight.
I don't want to draw that.
Wow.
Wow, what a fun night we had.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Nice game. A lot of new faces in the game. Again, you know, this is Tuesdays and Thursdays are the opportunity to really get some blood in the game because, you know, it's kind of a lower level buy-in.
Right.
Monday's the limit, you know, 3,000 tomorrow, 1,000 on Friday. So everybody tune in tomorrow for the big game. For everybody here in the booth, great job, Ray and Ronnie.
Yeah, they
was
really-
technical staff's probably going insane now. For Dave Tuckman, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
Is here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.